put Moto Limited show on my graphics and let's freaking have a good time.
I'm like, I want to go on the show. I want to go on the show. I want to go on the show.
Champion, here we go.
Intervened on behalf of
Gold and black Playboy undies. They had a hole in the front. There was nothing holding it in. I threw them in the bin and he almost cried.
Any athlete will tell you what you have to sacrifice to win with those cuts.
And here's what America's hoped for all year long.
Ooh, golly shit, here we go.
This is the center stage of Moto Podcasts. Welcome to the Moto Limited Show, presented by Ruse Systems, Street Race Solutions, and Backyard Designs. Live from Brisbane, Australia, here are your hosts, Trent Marr and Nick Still.
Show 44 is live. Welcome to the Moto Limited Show, presented by Street Race Solutions and Backyard Designs.
Hey Nick, this is Paige Craig, and you are listening to the Moto Limited Show, mate.
Every single show.
Dude, and we've got something really, really exciting coming for that.
Bit special cooking with that one.
Oh, it's cooking. And I'm like, dude, I'm really nervous that Paige and Christian go back and listen to some of our shows. And Christian will probably want to fight me. But that's okay. That's okay. It's Monday. It's 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We are live on Facebook. The Moto Limited Show is pleased to be partnered up with Ruse Systems, Street Race Solutions, Backyard Designs, National Luda, KTR, Pirelli Tyres, Queensland Bike and Four Drive, MP Suspension, and iPone Motorcycle Oils Trend.
We are live on the Moto Limited Show Facebook page, so join in the conversation in the comment section below if you are listening live. The archive is available, as always, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or you can rewatch this now on YouTube as well. And remember, guys, go check out the MotoLimitedShow.com. Check out the links to all our partners, as well as getting yourself some sweet merch. And Nick, we have some pretty cool merch stuff coming down. The marketing chick has been grinding in the background. We've got some new hoodies and tees about to drop, so make sure you go and check them out. Grab yourself one of them, as well as obviously the normal tees we have, the hats hoodies. And everything. Everything's going to be there, so go and check that out. Show 44, Nick. Very, very cool one we got tonight. I'm going to bring him in straight in nice and early this week because we...
nice and early?
Yeah, Jess got on me last week for dawdling a little bit at the start of the show.
That's not good, mate.
I know, she got into me, but that was because she wanted Jaden on the mic more than me, which is fair.
It's understandable.
I mean, that was pretty sweet last week having him on.
I don't know how this guy's going to go following like a performance like last week.
I think he's going to be fine. He's pretty good in front of a camera.
He's pretty good on a camera too.
Yes, in front of.
And on.
And on.
And on.
All right. Well, let's get to him now. Brought to you by Backyard Designs. As always, Nick, go to backyarddesignAUS.com. Go and check out their configurator. They got 200 motocross bikes to choose from, 2,000 different sponsor logos as well on there. Go and get yourself a set of graphics. And what are you going to do once you check out?
Moto Limited in capitals. You'll be able to put that in the little box when you check out. And that's going to save you how much, Trent?
15% off.
Ooh-wee.
And...
practically giving them away.
And we know they're good because they are used by the guest that is brought to you by Backyard Design.
Jeez.
He is the privateer KTM rider, the number 81 of Joel Evans. Joel, how are you?
I'm good, boys. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Welcome in, mate. We appreciate you giving us the time, coming in studio. Bit of a drive for you, but...
Yeah, the day was a bit of a mission too. We but we made it just in time. Pulled in here about 10 minutes ago, and let's make it happen.
Did you ride today, or...?
I didn't ride today, but the lights in the van blew, and that's our home.
Dude.
So we
it's not one thing, it's another, hey?
Yeah, brakes went out, the lights went, so like, well, we need to get that fixed ASAP.
Yeah, nearly jumped on the 450, mate, and
sent
her in.
Sent it up here to the studio. But no, it's good.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool to be here. Cool to see the studio. It's a cool job that you guys done here.
No, we appreciate it. We like that when people say,
"Let's go." We like it because it's like
there's a lot of work.
Yeah, there's a lot of sweat, tears.
And Backyard Design is obviously one of your sponsors. They're a sponsor here on the show as well. So pretty sweet graphics. Your bikes always look top notch with Backyard Design.
Yeah, definitely. I actually just did some kits on there online the other day. It's super cool. Just like for the people that don't know, it's just online, so you can design your own kit.
Yep.
You can change the plastic colors, the sticker colors, like so many different options. You can, and I was just playing around with that the other day. Ordered a couple kits and been talking to the guys a fair bit. Actually, I've got a pretty cool little thing coming up soon for the junior Aussies and stuff. We're going to do a pretty cool little giveaway type deal for the junior Aussies. So that should be cool. If you just look out for that, it'll be some cool content coming. Yeah.
Well, just following up what you just said, how cool is that configurator? Like, dude, I spent hours on there just making these cool little graphics, and like you can save the JPEG to your computer and open them up later and have a look. Like, you can do some cool stuff on that configurator.
Yeah, definitely. I know, like for me, it's always you can save it on there too, and then each time I just go back onto my old one and just try to make some little adjustments, make it cooler and cooler each time. Yeah. And yeah, like it's. I don't know. I reckon it's fun just playing around with it sort of deal. Yeah.
And they also do the custom graphic stuff as well. I was talking to Wes up there at Toowoomba on the weekend. He reckons they've been pumping out. People have been using the code, which is awesome. But yeah, they also do the custom graphics too. So if you want something custom built to your specification, Backyard Design do that also. As well as we've got the sweet helmet wrap on the counter over there as well. So you can get a bunch of cool stuff from Backyard Design. So I'm pretty stoked to have them on board, as well as all of our other partners. You know, they make it possible for us to sit here on a Monday night and talk rubbish.
We do that so well. But another one of our sponsors, Trent, another one that partnered with Pirelli. What is Pirelli doing this month?
We got a lot coming up. So before we get to that, Nick, I want to introduce the guys. It's on the.
I was more thinking. Bit of a share giveaway. What do you reckon?
We got a share giveaway coming. So
like the share the stream, and you can
get the iPhone.
iPhone. Sorry.
Come on, mate. Are you on the right page here?
Sorry, I keep looking at your hat, and I'm like Pirelli. It's iPhone. Let's do. There's a few people here. They need to know about it.
What's going on?
They need to know about it.
They are, and I was getting to that, but then you rudely interrupted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to introduce a guy who presses the 1s, 2s, and 3s over here.
I thought you already did that.
The technical wizard himself, Wiz. You're back. Show 3.
Show number 3, boys. Well, 44, but 3 for me.
3 for you, yeah. But you're back. Hey, if you've got the camera turned on you right now,
I most certainly do.
I bet you there's a one national sales manager at Link International that's very stoked on your outfit tonight. So.
Maybe.
He'd love that. So thanks, mate, for pressing the buttons as always.
As always, boys, I'm here all night.
That's it. So we will get into that, Nick. As we said, we've got the iPhone share giveaway. So if you are listening live right now to this live stream, share the live stream, put in the comment section that you have shared, and you will go in the draw to win $1,000 worth of iPhone products. We've got some products sitting behind us and some in front. Dude, this 2-stroke oil smells like strawberries when it burns.
Have you been Andy smelling oil again?
Nah, I want to go. I didn't want someone with it. Actually, I've got a 65. What am I talking about? I'm going to go get the 65. I'm going to pour some of that in and see if it really smells like strawberries. But that stuff's pretty cool. So plenty of cool products. We got $1,000 to give away. So share that live stream. Put in the comment section that you've shared it. You will go in the draw every show for the rest of the month. Gives you an opportunity, an extra chance to get in the draw.
What would you do with $1,000 worth of iPhone oil? Dude, what's the first thing you would buy?
Joel, that's a lot. $1,000 worth of oil. That's a lot of oil to get you through a season.
Yeah, you can do a lot of racing with $1,000 worth of oil.
Yeah. So
how long would $1,000 get you for racing?
yeah.
I could make that last a year.
You could make it last a year. Would you just go and buy like a 44 and just strap it in the back of the van?
yeah. Just put a little nozzle on it and we're good to go. Yeah.
What is the most like oil that you go through? Like engine oil, chain lubes. Like what do you seem to always just have to get?
I do a lot of filters.
Yeah.
So I'm always going through filter oil. It's like, stupid how much filter oil I use.
I can feel that. Yeah. I avoid filters. I put a lot of filter oil on, so hopefully it lasts a bit long. I don't think that's a strategy.
It's funny, back when I first started with a team, I would get I remember TC giving me these like garbage bags full of filters. And for the first 3 days, man, I just washed filters. And after that, I was just like,
no more filters.
No more.
Get them away.
No dust. Don't ride dust, boys. Ride the mud.
So we got the iPhone oil giveaway. Share the live stream, comment shared, and you'll get with a couple coming through. So we appreciate that. We got also the Pirelli tire giveaway, the Scorpion MX 32 mid hards we're giving away this week. The Scorpions, yep. So we're giving them away later on the show, about 7 p.m. They'll be coming up for that. So last week we gave away a trivia question, so keep your ear out for how you're going to be able to win these. They're in right in front of Wiz there. with the factory Pirelli tyre stickers on them as well, which you can only get as a factory team. You'll get your tyres with that. Corey Chicken got his set today. We just posted up a post with him with his new tyres. Pretty stoked on it. So plenty of tyres coming out for the rest of the month. We've got another 2 sets to give away for the last 2 shows of the month. So keep an ear out. 7 p.m. we'll be announcing how you can win those tyres and get amongst it. And Nick, before we get into our front yard, backyard, there's one more big thing coming up. We sort of teased it today.
For a couple of hours.
For a couple of hours, man. Take it down. Yep. Good job, Nick.
Hey, you approved it, mate.
I wasn't thinking, all right?
Hey, even the marketing chick, she approved it as well.
Yeah,
she should be the one that's putting up going, hey, maybe you guys shouldn't do this.
No, so anyway, it was up. I put it on mine. We've got the Privateer Takeover giveaway. Now, what this is, and Joel, this is a pretty sweet deal we've managed to put together with our partners at Pirelli and Motul, who are the title sponsors of the Queensland titles this year. They are giving away a entry to both rounds of the Queensland title. So you have to commit to going to Mackay is one of the rounds, and then obviously Coolum is the second round. And if you're from Mackay, you are eligible to come and do the Coolum round. You have to be committed to do both rounds, so you get an free entry into both rounds. You get a front row pit site at both rounds as well, thanks to the guys at Pirelli. You also get a set of free Pirelli tyres for both rounds and Motul oil change kit for a 4-stroke, and if you got a 2-stroke, we'll mix that up to whatever, and also a chain clean and chain lube kit that Motul do as well. So all that to give away to one person. How you can win this, Nick? Go to the website, MotoLimitedShow.com. Go to the competitions tab, and there's a Privateer Takeover thing there. I should have got this right.
Yeah.
Go in there, fill out your details, comment why you want to do it, tick all the boxes that you need to, submit it, and you go in the draw to win that. Only get one submission into that, so don't send it 5 or 6 times. You get one submission.
And we will just go through them, and we will pick a winner.
It'll be a random draw, and again, it's for all championship classes. I've got to put that on there, so if you're going there to do the senior support class, please don't enter, because we're not. It's for a championship senior class, or obviously the younger classes as well. We'll get that random draw. Somebody gets that. That's like, I mean, I tried to do the math the other day, and that's a lot.
Well, the best person to probably explain it, Joel, being a privateer, and you've done so much during your career as a privateer, something like that where your entry fees are covered, you've got tyres, you've got oil, that's a fairly substantial part of the whole thing that you don't have to worry about. That's pretty special to a couple of riders that are sort of funding this whole experience, right?
For sure. And I think it could be the difference of, going to Mackay or not.
Yeah.
Being able to have all that extra stuff and just take so much pressure off. Like I said, I've done it for my whole life, privateer.
Yeah.
And just like if my old man or something like that, if I'd won something like that, I'm sure that take a heap of stress off him for the week leading up and stuff like that. It's just, it's a super cool thing you guys are doing.
Yeah, so as I said, that's part of the deal with Pirelli and Motul. As the title sponsors of the series, they wanted to give back to the riders, and they obviously used our... What?
Are you okay?
whatever we call this show, they wanted to use
the Moto Limited show.
They wanted to
use
use that to get that out, and again, privateer help to the riders that need it the most. The guys that are the bread and butter of the sport, they're the ones that obviously keep the wheels turning, the lights on most of the time.
That's it. And like, we just want to, like, me and you, the one thing we like doing is we like helping riders that are like us that couldn't afford to do it, and everyone deserves a chance to go up there and race. So if we can help people do that, Trent.
Yeah.
And a part of the deal is the Saturday night you're there, you are welcome to buy me and Trent beer. We do drink Canadian Club, so that's just throwing it out there. It's not on the terms and conditions, but it's more of a just a guideline.
Yep. So go to the MotoLimitedShow.com. Go to the competition section, go to the Privateer Takeover, put in your details, submit it. You'll go in the draw to win that as well. Share it around to all your friends. I know you probably don't want to, but share it around to everyone. Get as many chances to get this out there as we can, and hopefully help one special rider. So that's going to wrap up the front end of the show, Nick. There's a lot of stuff going on,
dude. It's much.
It's been a busy week trying to put all the pieces of that together. But
Pirelli tyres everywhere.
Yeah, Pirelli are stepping up big time to help out the sport and help out us here at the Moto Limit Show.
Scorpion MX every time.
Scorpions for sure. Hey, Wiz, you right over there? Let's get to our front yard backyard segment, mate. Brought to you by the guys at Backyard Design. 15% when you put Moto Limited at checkout to save. Let's get to our front yard backyard.
am a champion. Whoa, hey.
This is the Backyard Design Front Yard Backyard segment. Use code MOTOLIMITED at checkout to save 15% off your graphics kit.
I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm effective. This doing my damage, man.
15% off when you check out, when you use the code MOTOLIMITED at Backyard Design, as used by Joel Evans. So if he uses them, they must be good. Backyard Front Yard, we quickly briefed you on the way in, Joel, of what this was. So you probably haven't had time to prep. I'll throw to Nick first because we know what's coming each week. We'll start with our down. We'll go around the table what our backyard is, what we're down on at the moment, and then we'll finish on a positive before we get into some Joel Evans talk. What do you got, Nick?
So starting down?
Yeah, mate.
Downer today, downer this week is obviously the incident that happened at the Fink Desert Race today.
Yeah.
That's absolutely horrendous. That's the one thing. We do have flies flying around here.
Yeah,
You seem to be a little upset with these flies.
Yeah, where'd they come from? Anyway,
I don't know.
continue.
Yeah, but the incident that happened with the Fink Desert Race this afternoon is something that we do not want to see in motorsports. It's absolutely horrendous. And I think as part of me and you both from Moto Limited Show, we just wish everyone well. And yeah, that's the last thing we want to see, Trent. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, obviously our thoughts and prayers go to all the families that'll be affected by that, and everyone who's obviously fighting those injuries and that. It's unfortunately it's a part of those desert racing sort of things, and we don't like to see it at all. Joel, you got a backyard, mate? Anything you down?
I honestly hadn't heard of this Fink thing.
Yeah.
Obviously myself being through some pretty big injuries and stuff like that. It's I hate that.
Yeah.
Just even hearing you guys say that, sort of my heart sunk for a sec. It's like your like heart just goes out to anyone who was affected by it. We're definitely all thinking of yous. Hope he's come out all good. Other than that, mate, everything's going pretty good with me, so I'll leave it there.
Yeah, cool. Cool. We like that.
What about you, dude? What do you got going on? You've used me and him have just nailed it, so you can't use it. You can't use You gotta pick something else.
Yeah, mine's not as severe as that. I was like, that's
good luck, mate.
Yeah,
we killed it.
I can't beat that. I should have went first. Mine's petty in regards to that. So, I mean, I got the ute bogged today when I was trying to unbog somebody else, so then we had to get the tractor to pull two cars out. So that was my bad. So yeah, I'm a bit down on that at the moment. I was a bit angry at myself. We're sitting in the car, I'm in the boss, and he's just like, "You're up." Like,
your videos were so funny.
I'm like, I'm disappointed. See how they stopped after I bogged my ute? Yeah, it was a great time. But anyway, we had fun. That's what I do at work. Have fun. It's a great time. But anyway, I'm down. He's gonna now nail me because he does watch the show, so he's gonna nail me tomorrow when I get.
Dude, I hope he does.
Yeah, he was gonna comment. He reckons he never even. He goes, "I'm gonna comment for the first time. It's gonna be about blowing you out," but he doesn't. So I'm sweet.
Show title out.
Yeah. Did you get your list of notes too, Wiz?
Yeah, I got it too.
Yeah, sweet. Cool. Let's go up. Front yard. What are we up on?
We'll go. Joel, you go first.
What are you high on?
I'm high on just how much racing we got to watch right now.
Yes.
It's unreal. The AMA is going. Obviously, had a weekend off. I was
Dang it.
Yeah.
There's mine.
The MXGP started, so it was like, yeah, perfect.
You couldn't have been better timing with that one either. Like, the weekend that we have nothing, like no Pro MX, no AMA, and then, GP started. It like snuck up on all of us. I think we're all like, hey, wait a minute, because they changed it so much. But that's pretty sweet.
Always so cool. I like obviously I do all the racing, but I'm a massive fan of motocross as well. So I watch pretty well every qualifying, every race there is.
Hell yeah,
multiple times.
So that's exactly what we do. Yeah, that's cool.
Damn, we wish we had some motocross to talk about.
Well, I'm gonna go off the back of that and just continue. Like, dude, we've had so much racing. We've obviously got the Pro MX in Australia. We've got the AMA Lucas Oil in America. We've got the Lucas Oil, Trent. Lucas Oil. What are you laughing about?
Just continue.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 2001 series?
Yeah.
Lucas Oil. MotoGP. I don't know if you guys watch MotoGP, but it's been really, really cool recently. And of course, the GP motocross last night was pretty awesome. I was a long way off my predictions, so let's not go there.
Dude, Tim Geiser, 1-1. And like he didn't crash in the first corner. We got tangled up. Like to come from deep. Because I haven't watched the full, so don't ask me anything else past like the results and like the highlights, because I could only watch the highlights this morning before work, and I was like, dude, I don't even understand.
The one funny thing, and like you'll probably get a laugh at this. I was half asleep watching Moto 2 of the GP class, and I woke up and I think it was February, number 3 Monster Energy Kawasaki. I was like, Number 3's not meant to be the front. I was like, what am I watching? Like, I thought this was the GP. I was like, Tomac's not at the front, is he? Like,
How much does he look like Tomac?
oh, dude, I was like
half
half asleep and I woke up and like just looked at the screen and I was like,
Hey, Maisel?
what's going on?
Yeah.
Is there a press conference I'm meant to be in?
It must just be a Cowie thing right now because Riker's 3 on the Cowie.
Yeah.
All the top dudes on the Cowie is number 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it trips you out a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, we're going to go blue next year.
Oh, well, that's a question I got for later, but
yes.
What's good? What's great?
What is great? I got to ride on Saturday, and I want to give a shout out to Joe Van Scherpenseal
Good guy.
and his partner Kerry for allowing us out to his property to ride. Have you ridden out there?
No,
the one
I
at
haven't,
Woodford
no.
yet? It's a pretty awesome track. It's where Gibbsy and Dobson and all that have been training, doing a bit.
Sweet.
It's a pretty sweet track. I got to go out there, dude. Like seriously, I haven't ridden since I think King of Roy. Before King of Roy, I went and rode when I rode with you.
Yeah.
That day. That was the last time I rode. So you could imagine how bad my hands were cramping and my arms were pumping up after like a lap and a half. Got out there, but the best part was watching Ava, my daughter, ride around. She's 5 and she's on a 65 already, and she just like carves it up. Like nailed the clutch first. Like as soon as I put her on it, she's like brah, and she's
How's
riding
that go
around.
again?
Brah.
Thank you.
And then all the bigger guys that were there, the older kids, they're riding around with her, and she just riding amongst them. Like, no, and I was like, this is so much fun, and that's why I love the sport.
It's funny,
is
like
watching them.
her attitude is gonna go.
Oh,
she just wouldn't care, would she?
Oh, she just
Yeah.
seriously was just like, I was like, did you get scared with the buoy? She's like, nah.
No, it's her way or the highway.
Oh, I was like, man, that's sick.
That's
So,
cool.
Watching her ride on the weekend, that's what I'm up on. Is getting to see her and I watched Jaden play his soccer game on Saturday morning, which was the second game I've watched since he started.
Did they
soccer.
win?
No, but he was very.
I'm starting to see a trend.
Very much improved. But
When you attend, they don't win.
nah, he didn't. He hasn't won a few.
Oh.
Nah, but the last time I went to, he cracked it, was carrying on because he didn't win in front of me, and I was like, dude, I don't care if you win, just go out and play, like have fun.
Was the great man Darren Murray there? Just
Nah,
you
he
know?
weekend off.
Oh, weekend off. The coach
yeah.
would have been pumped.
Yeah, coach got coach looked around for him.
I'm sure they did.
I haven't told him the story about him cancelling training on Wednesday
Oh.
because he was busy, so kept that out of it. But
Yeah.
no, that's my front yard. So yeah, Backyard Design. Go and check them out. BackyardDesignAUS.com. And get that started. So
yeah.
Let's get into some Joel Evans talk. Exactly what we're all here for tonight. We had you on, man. I think the last time we had him on, Nick, was when we were in the hot box.
Yes.
We haven't showed you when you rang in that time. You should have seen what the studio was. It was literally like the front room there, and it was like in summer. You come out like 15 kilos lighter. You just sweat. It was so bad.
Perfect.
So,
I come at the right time.
yeah, you're perfect. Yeah. In winter.
Well, it wasn't it funny? Like when it moved into here, I think before any of this got done, I was like, I ain't going in there. So the air conditioner in there. I was like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah,
the
best
finished.
Best investment the show ever made was aircon.
Uh-huh.
But that was the last time we had you on. We sort of touched on a few things, and that's why I was like, dude, I want to get you in. I want to talk a little bit more. You've done other podcasts before and gone really deep, but I want to go into obviously how you got started and things like that. But then I want to, as you said, you're a big fan of the sport, and I want to talk about the sport with you and different things like that. So I mean, let's start at the beginning. I mean, I've watched you since you're a kid, dude. Like knee high to a grasshopper all the way through. But how did you get into riding a dirt bike and then initially get into racing from there?
Yeah, so my old man always loved bikes, but was never allowed them.
Yeah.
And then I think he got a bike one time and it didn't have Kickstarter and all that sort of thing. Had to push it and the whole deal. And then once I got old enough, he saw the neighbours actually cruising around on PV50. Said they were about 30 or something, just cruising around on it. And they needed a fridge, and Dad wanted a bike, so I swapped him a fridge for like an old PV50, and he cleaned it up, and that was that was my introduction to it.
Yeah.
And then just like naturally just go cruising. I think we used to ride on the school oval on weekends and stuff like that.
Imagine these days.
Isn't it funny? Like most of us all learnt to ride bikes. It was like in a school oval or it was a big sporting field. It's just like a story everyone's got. We can all say the same thing.
I think it's because I think by the time we started, I think they all realize that you don't do it in backyards because there's fences and trampolines and stuff in there.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
But I did learn in the backyard.
Yeah. Actually, I have a pretty cool story with that. MPE, I think one of your sponsors.
Yeah.
Paul, because the bike, I don't think it ran very well. So Dad didn't know much and took it to him. He cleaned her up a little bit and it's a bit fast for me. And yeah, at his house, I test rode it and I think I ran straight into a tree, just like cleaned it out. He's like, all right, pack up, get out of here.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, that's how I sort of got into it, and then just naturally, I think Dad just speaking to people, they're like, "Oh, there's a motocross track here."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just started. I think I was 7.5 when I started. Like, went to my first race. On a Pee-wee, and just started from there, just like everyone else.
What was the first track you did like a proper race on?
I think probably Harvey Bay.
Oh, what a start!
Yeah.
What a track to start. I think mine was like Mandubba or something, but yeah, that's crazy.
On a Pee-wee too, so I couldn't imagine that it would be heaps of fun. But
don't remember.
Apparently, I did pretty good. I think it was like me and Nick Scott. Who, we used to race around there a little bit because my grandparents are from Harvey Bay, so grew up on the sand of Harvey Bay pretty well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
so you enjoy going back there when we go back there?
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah,
I love that place.
Yeah, no, that's sick. I mean, do you remember when, like, one question I always ask, like, do you remember the first time you seen a race or you were at a race? Do you remember that? Like, what you thought? Like, because obviously this is what you do now for a career. Like, do you remember the point where you're like, this is so cool, like, I want to do this?
I think probably we never had pay TV or anything like that. We couldn't do it, but every weekend we used to go to one of my dad's mates' places and sit down. We watch Chad Reed ride on Supercross sort of deal.
Yeah.
That's more like than actual being at a track. That's more what I remember.
Yeah.
I remember being super young and I just like sitting down the carpet watching the TV. I was like just hooked from there.
Yeah. No, that's sick. Because that's a part that I always say to people is like, when do you first remember like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I want to do, like, I want to be a part of that. Because I mean, we're all still in it. Like as I said, you're racing now and you're doing it as a career. It's like something's got a spark in you to go, I'm going to do this forever now. Like, or like I can't get rid of this, and I'm sitting here on a Monday night.
That's true though. Like when you think back to being young and being a child, you always have that memory of like what you've watched.
Yeah.
And it stays with you for life. So that's pretty special.
Yeah. So once you started racing, like where was the transition then for you to go, I want to go, and for us here it's like Sunshine State MX Series. Like when was that transition for you to go, oh, well, let's go try this bigger form of racing rather than just the club stuff?
Honestly, I'm not too sure when we sort of jumped to that. It was because it was always myself, my older sister Renee, and my younger sister Alex. We all raced, and Dad took us. Actually, how it all come about with really going racing is my parents split up.
Yep.
And the way that Dad could get us is to go racing because it's a sport. Like that was the deal. So we went to every single race there was basically. So I'd say that's how we got into the bigger ones. There was no club day this weekend, so we got to go somewhere else.
Get in the van, we're going.
yeah, exactly. So it was pretty cool. And we always the whole time did it as a family in a little high ace. There was 4 of us in one of those tiny little high aces.
Yeah.
We just made it work all the time.
Yeah. And they're the best stories too. Like you always
For
think
sure.
back of that now, like how cool it was. Like you're just all like tight knit, and I mean that's always everyone's story, from back when we all started was, it was a tight knit community with family the whole time, and then you meet with all the other families, and it's like this one big congregation of people on a Saturday
every weekend.
night.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All your best friends and all the people you remember for the rest of your life are like from that period of time.
For sure. Yeah.
It's exciting. And then we're kind of breezing through this because I mean you've told this stuff, but from there, then when did you start getting to the point where you're like, I'm getting good now, we're starting to put some results on the board, people are starting to look at what we're doing? Like when was that sort of age bracket? Do you remember that sort of transition?
So I think that was around 13, 14 for me, probably 14. Dean Slade, I'm not sure if you remember him. He was like a local pro guy.
Where is that guy?
Dude, I've got a list of people that I want to start talking to from like back in the day, bud, and he's one of them. Dean Slade was like badass.
Yeah, I remember just like watching him at Kilcoy and stuff and being like, this guy's so good. And,
on the RMs. Was on the
Honda, I think. I'm picturing him on a Honda anyway.
Yeah. He had a few, but the gold forks and stuff. Like MP did the
Oh,
gold fork.
yeah, dude.
That's why I always wanted MP suspension. Now he's a sponsor. I was like, I want the gold forks.
yeah. But he was like my first ever coach sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he used to come to my mum's place of an afternoon once a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we went there, and like I improved heaps from then and started getting towards the front at like the Sunny States and stuff like that. And then I just realized this is pretty cool to run up front a little bit more, and I saw how much my parents were putting into it, and then I wanted to win. I wanted to do better and better, and I was racing with faster guys and started seeing what they were doing, and then getting jealous that they were beating me sort of deal. So like I was always really good mates with Jay Wilson growing up, J&D, and it didn't matter seemed to what we did. Jay was always just beat me a little bit, so that was a good driving factor as well. Like I always wanted to chase him, and that was sort of how I transitioned from that, just going for fun to I might have to actually work a bit harder to see if I can beat this guy that keeps beating me, sort of thing.
What age was that, roughly?
Yeah, that was sort of right at the end of juniors.
Yeah.
So about 15, 16.
Yeah.
My last year of juniors, I was going pretty good that year. Me and Jay spent a little bit of time before the season started riding, and I started beating him in a couple practice tracks, and he was like, didn't know how to handle it. It was like, oh, that's different.
That's
he was
cool,
always
though.
pumped for me.
He
was like, man, you're flying today, sort of thing. And I went to Coolum, and I think I won the first round of Sunny State that year, and I think like there was a bunch of fast dudes there, so that was really cool. And then that was my first year of an injury too. I blew my ACL out, so learned a lot that year.
We can get to that point of it. So have you always been from Kingaroy, or did you move there at a young age, or born and bred, or?
Yeah, born and bred.
Yeah.
And then once my parents split, we moved to Beerburrum, so like little town up Sunny Coast sort of area. And then that was cool because my mum had a little bit of property there, and her boyfriend Ryan built me a cool little track and stuff, and that's where Dean would come and coach me. So from there, that was really what got me going faster, sort of deal, because I was able to ride a little bit during the week and just sort of have some fun trying to improve and go from there.
It's always handy.
When you got into seniors, obviously left school, when was the decision, hey, what did you go out and do an apprenticeship, or did you get a job straight away when you left school? What was the sort of transition, sort of leaving education, going into the working life?
Yeah, so I probably got a pretty similar story to a lot of motocross guys. Once I hit that stage around that 15, I was sort of a bit silly and was like, I'm just going to be a professional motocross rider.
Hey, dude, it's working.
Didn't care about anything else. And actually, I left school after grade 10. And then started.
What's up?
I'm seeing the trend here.
So then, I started working for my old man from then. And our deal always was I'd work for him, but I didn't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working full time, but he would just pay for my racing. Was the deal, and that's a pretty cool thing. Especially once you start realizing what people get paid, it's like
exactly, and that creates another big drive for you as well to want to succeed and do better and better every time. So that's cool. I like that. That's a good way.
It was a really cool way to do it. It sort of taught me so much about working without needing a sort of money or whatever. Just working for a result
to get by.
And that was super cool, and that's how sort of the transition into the pros went. And Dad took me to every single race that we went pretty well from the first year. Unless I've been injured, I've been at every national and everything. Can't thank him enough for the family for that.
He's a grinder, your old man. I've seen he's just been I remember when he was younger, you'd show up, he'd be work all week, just show up, and he's still fixing things and trying to help put all the bikes together and make everything top notch for you guys, and then just pack up, go back to work. We all have the same stories about our dads. You sit back now at the age we're at and you go, dude, they did so much stuff that you just didn't even pay attention to. You just
it's not that it's the money.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Don't even start me.
It's incredible. But your dad must love it just as much as you do, and he must be able to live and see that through you as well, which would be pretty special for him.
Yeah, he loves it. He still comes to every single race. I actually sat him down a couple of years ago and was like, you don't have to come anymore. I was like, I'm not going to be stressed if you don't want to spend the money or whatever, but he just loves it. He flies to every national.
That's cool.
And he's the bike washer. My bike always looks the best in the pits. I reckon he cleans every single bit of dirt off it.
And you got that backyard designs graphics. So.
Yeah, she's always looking good. But no, it's really cool. He like I said, he's a grinder. We used to, after he'd do his normal job, then we go and we'd cut firewood. And do firewood, and that'd be our cash, and we're like, yep, let's go racing.
Oh, dude. It's so badass. I seeing that. They're the stories we love, is the hard work that goes in and then pays off, and you guys are just and again, when you say, hey, you don't want to come, my old man's the same. He hadn't been at the racing for 2 years, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to come back racing again. I'm just going to give it one more shot. Every race meeting, he's like, yeah, I'll come. Yeah, okay. I'm like, all right.
He loves it.
They do, but I think it's because it's their lives as for 20 odd years of their life. That's all they've done. So when you
Yeah.
kind of like, hey, we're gonna do this again, they're like, yep, sweet, I'm back in. Like I feel like they're back with.
I think Darren likes it a lot more now. He doesn't have to wash bikes.
No, he was still washing bikes when I come back. Last weekend when he came to Toowoomba, he didn't have to wash Ryan's bike, and he was pretty
He
pumped.
seemed
on
pretty
that.
happy about
Yeah,
it.
he was pretty pumped after that one.
yeah.
So, but no, that's cool. And then, you know, I mean, let's get to obviously the injuries. You've had, you know, some pretty big ones, and you've had some significant ones along the way. Like I said, that first one was the knee blowout, which I think I've been pretty lucky, touch wood, not to have one of them. But I mean, I think every motocross rider has had a knee, had a knee reco in their life. So I mean, that started the trend, and then obviously you've had some pretty bad ones along the way. Just go through, like, I mean, some of them, and what sort of the worst one. And we know what the worst one was, but you know, that one's probably the hardest to come back from. But I mean, knee recos are still tough as well, and you probably had some other pretty decent ones along the way as well.
Yeah, so like obviously, like I said, the knee was the first one, and that was a learning curve because, again, just silly motocrossers at times. It's like I was back on the bike in 3 months. And Pro didn't quite give it the time, and I was sitting down the shed one day, just crossed my legs and just leg fell out of the knee, just completely popped out. Michaela's sitting over here, my girlfriend, and she's had to pop my knee in for me a few times. But,
jack of all trades here.
We're getting to her too, because she's getting lots of props here on the back end of this.
But this is so for kids out there. Definitely be smart. Do your rehab. I've actually got a really good trainer, Emil from Athletic Base now, and we did, since it was like popping out a bunch of times and whatever. All it was, he's just like, don't get another surgery.
Yeah,
just strengthen it. Now I can cross my legs. I can put myself in weird positions, and honestly, it's just like it's fixed.
The best. Yeah.
So and then from there, I did a few collarbones and that sort of thing. But yeah, the big one obviously was the neck. 2015 broke my neck. Was head down paralyzed for a little bit, and just had to learn the whole thing again.
Yeah.
As everyone probably knows the story. I don't like to harp on too much.
Yeah.
And, like, for me sort of thing. It's like it happened. It's all good. The thing about injuries for me, it's like I've got ongoing stuff. So from my neck injury, which people might not realize, my deltoid, so top of your shoulder muscle here, for those who don't know, my anterior deltoid, the one on top here, it's dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work.
Yeah.
And then my infraspinatus, so a muscle over my shoulder blade, it's completely dead as well. So I got a hollow there. So I struggle with that. Just like trying to get the strength. If you actually see some of the photos of me in the video, even Toowoomba coming down like the Matterhorn hill, I'm like this. Like I'm full, like just because your body's figuring out a way to do it.
Oh yeah, compensating for the
But no, I was able. Like I'm super happy to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
Obviously I dealt with that pretty good. And
Ooh.
And then after that one, I had a hip. It had nothing to do with motorbikes. I was just lucky enough to be born with a lump on my femur head. And over the years of training, actually just tore all my cartilage up in my hip like old carpet, the doctor said. So I've had a couple surgeries on that, and that's honestly my biggest issue. Even to today.
Going back to the neck. How do you overcome that and get to where you are now? Like, dude, there's got to be days where you're sitting there laid up and you're like, this ain't worth it. There's more to it than this. Like, how do you get past that? I remember that injury really, really clearly. And it was like each day there'd be more and more information coming out about how you were doing. I just think, like, and that's a story I think that a lot of people probably don't know about you, was the severity of it. And now obviously what you do is obviously racing a motorcycle. That's your job. So coming out of, like, can you just talk like the first couple of weeks coming out of that, like where you are mentally?
Yeah, so I'll back up even more than that. So I was actually listening to a Pulp podcast, and it's in one of his outros. Actually, you hear another guy who's had a spinal injury. It's insane what goes through your head the first 30 seconds. Like, I personally had never thought about kids or getting married or anything like that at that stage, and the first thing that went through my head was like, oh, why the hell did I ever touch a motorbike? Like, I'm not going to be able to ever walk again. I'm not going to have kids. I'm not going to do all this sort of thing. So yeah, from the very first point, I was like, motorbikes suck. I wish I didn't touch him. But then, the first few weeks, as I started to improve a little bit and stuff, while I still wasn't even able to sit up, my girlfriend and stuff, it hooked me up with laptop in front of me, and we're watching AMA Supercross, we're watching the Nationals. And stuff, and it's like,
This will bring him back.
So like straight up, like as soon as I was able to talk and stuff again, I was like, yeah, I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I never told anyone I want to ride again, but in my head I was like, that was a goal of mine. It's like I wanted to ride. So
yeah,
for me personally, it was never a huge like thing where I was like, I hate motorbikes, I'm never going to come back, like super resentful. I knew that I rode motorbikes, like people were blaming that specific section of the track. It was pretty gnarly. They actually knocked it down straight after that.
If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine, but what track was it? I can't...
Murray Bridge.
Yes,
down
okay.
South Australia, yeah. So there's always been an infamous whoop section there.
Yep.
Yeah. But for that year, I was actually talking to the track builder down there at the South Australian titles I just did.
Yeah.
And he come and seen me and said, like, we didn't want to do it. They told us to make something real gnarly, like make them real steep.
Yeah.
And the line there was 3 in, 3, 2, I think was going to be 100% faster, but the first one was super mellow.
Yeah.
The third one was real steep.
So you couldn't get the pop over it,
It was going to be hard.
Yeah.
And there's actually a video of the crash, but I think it's been deleted.
Yeah.
And it's Wade Hunter goes in front of me.
Yeah.
He
I
eats it.
do remember it now, yeah.
And then I go, I'm just behind him there, and I eat it. And then Dylan Gosling's behind me, and he eats it. Like all
right
boom, boom, boom sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I made the decision to do the triple E, and I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So like, I don't blame anyone. I don't.
And
blame
like
track or
that thing,
anything
we
like
all, as motorcycle riders, we all know these are the risks we willing to take. But
yeah,
just
for sure.
yeah, that's incredible, man. That's a big thing to come back from.
What for me, it's as you said, you hadn't told anyone you wanted to get back on a bike. How did that conversation go down when you sat everyone down and go, hey, so I want to get back on this thing now and you know, tick this off the bucket list. How did that conversation go down?
Yeah, it was sort of one at a time for sure, and I picked the people. So I spoke to Michaela, I think, first, and spoke to her, and she was sort of supportive. She's like, "It's like you do you, but be smart about it," sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like all the way up until that point, I think I was just like twist it to go faster sort of deal, rather than using my brain, which is something I'm trying to coach right now. When I do the coaching, it's like just do it a different way, do it smarter.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I just picked the people, and then I told my old man, and he was sort of the same. He's like, I don't really want you to. He's like, you just do what you want to do, supportive. My mum was not about it. She was angry. She was like, not pumped on it at all. But I think, sort of once I was able to explain to her that, you know, it's all I can think about. It was actually an Adam Sincero quote is where I heard it.
Yeah.
He's just like, never go without something you can't go a day without thinking about, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, like I said, I was laying in bed, not even able to sit up yet, watching motorbikes. So it's something I've always loved. It's all I've really known.
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to do it. And once I was able to explain that to the people close to me and just be like, I'm not going to be silly. I'm not going to go out there. It's like if it takes me 3 years or whatever. I didn't know at that stage if it was ever even possible.
Yeah.
But I just said, I'll be smart about it no matter what.
Well, that's another thing. You came full circle really quickly.
Yeah.
Like
really quick.
to back to what you were really quickly. Like that was one thing that sort of surprised me, and I think you could agree with this as well. Like that was a quick turnaround.
I mean, it probably seems quick to us. To you, that's a lot of time. But I mean, again, super fortunate to come out the other side of that. As you said, you know, you had no feeling at a point, and then for it to come back and then to that too. I mean, I wanted to touch on this. I don't want to get this deep, but I mean, you hear other people that have come back from it. Jimmy Buttons told his story where he still gets like pins and needles and burning sensation throughout his body. Do you have any of those lasting effects from the injury? Or
so C5-6 also controls bladder and bowels.
Yep.
So I got some slight issues there.
Yep.
That I have to deal with, and then like it's something that people have to like. I think spinal patients need to be like respected for. Like guys like Daniel McCoy and stuff. I know he deals with it. The nerve pain is so much gnarlier than anything you can deal with. Like, the pain that I had and stuff, I'm super lucky to have it fairly limited right now.
Yeah.
But like my thumb will just be on fire occasionally, and it's like feels like it's on fire.
Yeah.
And it's just my left thumb for some reason. Yeah. And then the left side of my neck occasionally.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm pretty good.
There's like a surgery people go in and get, right, and it burns. They cut the nerve and they burn an end off. Is that right?
I've heard of it for sure.
Yeah, and is that relayed from just trying to deal with nerve pain? Like, is that something that gets that bad? They go in and do that?
See, I'm not sure. I honestly haven't heard of that with spinal patients.
Yeah, like I didn't know if that was the same sort of precaution that you'd have to do, but absolutely.
Like, because I'd say that if you could for a spinal patient, you would do it because it is like it's a super gnarly thing that you have to deal with. It's it's hard to explain unless you've been through it, but like that sort of pain, it's just a whole different thing. And you can't stop it. It's there, and you can't do anything to stop it. And that's what like we've heard that from multiple different people, and that was one thing that I said. I coming back to it, I was like, man, I just want to like. Do you deal with this? Do you deal with that? And I knew you would, but it was like, then how do you deal with that? You just kind of go be like, all right, well, this is part of it. Just move on to the next thing and try and block it out as much as you can. As bad as that sounds, but
everyone I suppose has got their different way of managing with it as well. Some people, I don't know, probably like to talk about it and get it off, and that's the way they deal with it.
The other thing too is then, for you to come full circle and go racing again, you can kind of be like, anything's possible when you set your mind to it. So you kind of use it as a learning tool. Even when you said with your coaching, you kind of say, ride with your head, not, just twist it. And that you've learned, like, I mean, it's a painful lesson to learn, but it's been a lesson that you can now take and use for good, and say to hopefully help 10, 15, 300 different kids that you can coach along the way and say, hey, just be a little bit smarter with this and put some longevity in your career, and don't have to go through the stuff we've had to deal with. So it's huge, like that lesson I learned. But like I said, I had to promise the people that around me, just like, I'm going to be smart about it. And it seems, it's like, how are you going to be smart? You broke your neck and you're going to go ride a motorbike.
Well,
like, that doesn't seem smart.
That's sort of my next question as well, is what did you change? Obviously, you said you wanted to be a lot smarter. Is that just your outlook on how you attack these things? What was the main key things that had to change to sort of be smarter at this?
So a couple things. Flies
Dude, I don't know where the hell these flies come from.
Dude.
Who let the flies in?
A couple different things. So one of them, like, going straight back to where the crash happened. I didn't have to triple in there.
No.
And it was qualifying. Like, I was out in, like, towards the front qualifying, and I was like, I'm going to be up there. Like, let someone else try it, or like just see, maybe try to double it. I hadn't even tried to double it yet.
Oh, really?
Like, because it was second lap of practice. Like, just sort of ease your way into stuff, and like realize that if you're going to make, I don't know, 0.3 of a second here, but the risk is stupid. Like, qualify sixth. Like, it's so fine.
Just
or like wherever
calculate
you are,
things a lot more.
Just be smarter. In like the big risk taking things, and a lot of the times, like, you're gonna be better off anyway. You're gonna complete the season. But then you can always have the argument there for like kids that are hungry and want to do really good, or not so much even kids, like adults. It's like, but you're not going to do any good if you're not taking risks. But it's untrue. Like, if you look at someone like Roxon, like how smooth he is, and like Mitch Evans, like those dudes, like they ride so well. And like, I got a coach, like, for the first time, like full on. And tried to just be smart about how I ride, where I put the power on. And what I do. And I feel like I'm the fastest I've ever been right now. I've got a bung shoulder, bung hip, and like, and I'm smooth, and I know Michaela even said, like, she's not scared watching me ride anymore. Like, she doesn't get nervous because she believes that in my abilities, my technique, I'm trying to do everything the right way. Whereas before, it's like, okay, I did a 131, I want a 130. I'm just going to twist it as hard as I can.
That's the next,
to get that.
Is that what it is? Is like mentally being able to turn this thing up and go, hey, we're going to go, like, we're going to send this. Is that something that plays in your head now, where you go, it's not worth it? A second is fine for me. I'm not going to go out there and send it for these next 3 laps just to try and get a win. Is that something that you're constantly calculating in your head now because of that injury?
I guess kind of, but I don't honestly see it like that.
I
just see it like, this is where I can make the time.
Okay.
So it's like I pick, like, just think of like a Toowoomba, for example. You got a nice tacky corner. Then there's a slick spot. It's like, I'm just going to hit this throttle and clutch as hard as I can in the tacky bit. Cruise the soft stuff and whatever. And that's how those really good guys do it. And it's like, you just pick your spots where you go fast. I was actually doing some coaching yesterday, and I was teaching a kid that. I was like, you're trying to pin it through the sketchy part, pin it before and after it.
Yeah. Not attack it so much. Yeah.
And it's like you're not limiting yourself to how fast you can go because, like I said, look at Roxon, look at Mitch Evans. Like, man, if you can be as fast as Mitch Evans, you're doing pretty good. Like, there's not many people like that.
It's frustrating watching those guys ride because like it doesn't look like they're going fast,
Even
but
Gibbsy,
they're going it, and Gibbsy's just you don't hear his bike
exactly,
and it's just like you watch them ride and you're like, what are you doing? And they're just pulling gaps on people. It just frustrates me.
Yeah, 100%. It's like on the weekend, it's like I was behind Gibbsy. Doesn't look like he's going fast.
No,
I
yeah.
just watched him right away.
Yeah.
So it's like he was just doing it right. And like I spoke to him after the race. I went and seen him and I just said, hey man, do you reckon you could give me some tips? Because there was a section I was struggling with. And like I just straight up went and asked him. He's a pretty cool dude. And he's just like, and explained what to do. And he did exactly what I just said to you guys. He's like, here, I popped, and then I got aggressive where it was good. Yeah. Popped over that sketchy stuff that I was worried about.
Yeah.
He said, then I went again.
Back again, yeah.
Just breaks it down.
Just being smart about where you're attacking on the track. You can still be one of the top guys. You just do it a different way, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's... I mean, I probably went the opposite in my career where I was like overthinking everything and I was like scared.
That doesn't sound like you.
I was like, I just don't know if I'm not gonna hit that. That 3-ended, no, not a chance. I was even looking at that in my day. I'd just be like, nope, not doing that.
Well,
2 all day.
That mentality, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
That mentality, how do you take that to Supercross?
I haven't done a whole lot of Supercross. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But you for sure can find it on Supercross as well.
Yeah.
It's just like the whole way around a track, you can see here's an edge.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a little edge I can turn off that. I can get aggressive off that. Here there's not. There's a rut here. Like there's so many different things. It's hard obviously to explain like this because like we've all ridden motorbikes before. It's like there's so much happening all at once and the track changes so much. But you can do it the same way on a Supercross track. It's just it's in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
I'd say with Supercross, as in if you're looking at like, oh, you got to hit this big triple or quad or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, don't just do it the second day you're at a Supercross track.
Yeah.
I'd say would be the thing. Like when I spoke to like Jay Wilson, he's a pretty smart guy as well.
Yeah.
When it comes to this sort of stuff, and I spoke to him about Supercross and said, man, I don't want the learning curve of just eating crap.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the common factor with a lot of these younger guys learning Supercross.
Yeah.
As bad as it sounds.
Yeah, for sure. And I actually spoke to Mike Sleater about this just the other day.
Yeah.
So I said I want to race Supercross, but I'm like I don't want to just eat crap flat out to learn. And he just said it's not. He said don't look at it like that. Do a heap of laps. Just like lap after lap after lap, and just double if you want to start with.
Yeah.
And do triples, and eventually you just get so good at knowing how to hit this and stuff. Like the dudes in America, they hit everything first lap.
Yeah,
There's no
dude,
yellow
it's
flag
ridiculous to
there
watch.
on
Yeah.
first lap, so they just jump everything first lap.
It's all
So
the time.
Triple in the rhythms, they'll do 3-ons, different stuff, all very first lap, and they can look at the dirt, they know what it's gonna do. So I think it's just reps, like just being smart about. Okay, I know what to do here, not just I think I'll do this.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's why in America they do 9 months of Supercross and 3 months of motocross or whatever it works out to be. They grind out.
Like that's the cool thing with Jet is Jet can go out and do these completely other little different, wheel tap.
Yeah.
Do this and he's breaking that down on the second lap as well.
Yeah.
Which is just the mentality of these guys and just being able to piece that together on the fly is just it's nutty, man.
I think that's another thing too, like not getting caught up on if say I was going to Supercross track for the first time or Jet was.
Yeah.
Guaranteed Jet's going to be a lot better than me on his first time just because the kid's a freak. He's so talented. He's going to smoke me. And although I'd probably knowing it's the first time for both of us, like Jet's probably a bit of an extreme example, but you'd want to still be as good as that guy. I'd just be like, okay, I don't have that yet.
Yeah.
Just do it. Like,
I mean, Hunter's the perfect example of the opposite of that, where he's been working at it, where it just seems like it comes natural to Jet, where Hunter's been putting in those reps, as you said, and you can see.
Now you see how good he was.
Yeah, and it's something that he picks up more and more as the racing goes on. Exactly.
Yeah. The experience.
Welcome back to show 44 of the Moto Limited Show, presented by Street Race Solutions and Backyard Designs. Nick, the guys at Street Race Solutions, always producing the fire when it comes to anything.
Absolutely.
on 4 wheels.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a race car, a drift car, anything with 4 wheels, Trent. If you want to do something to your car, bit of modification, you want to make this thing loud, you want to make this thing fast, go see these guys, go see Stu, tell them the guys Motor Limited sent you. There's going to be Street Race Solutions. It's going to be a well-known name very soon, Trent. It's going to be a very, very well-known name.
You told me the plan with that. I'm pretty stoked to hope for us to be a part of that Motor Limited show, to be a part of what Street Race Solutions are
Absolutely.
doing up
So they're going to go for a couple of Australian records for speed and obviously in modified cars. So once we know a bit more of the details, we'll tell our listeners, because it's going to be something really, really cool, Trent.
Very, very special, that is for sure. So make sure you check out the guys Street Race Solutions on Instagram and Facebook, see what they're doing. If you need anything in 4 wheels done, go and check them out. Stu and the team up there. Big part of everything that we've always done here on Show 44. Nick, we got some comments coming through. We'll read some comments.
Let's go. All right. So just a lot of just complimenting my shirt, Trent. That's fine. Just keep them coming in. We'd like to see that. Even Wiz is getting some compliments there. A lot of shared. That's what we like to see. David Roberts, Joel Evans, the man, the myth, the legend, the Kingaroy boy. See, getting a bit of hype there. A lot more people with shared. Hey Nick, Canadian Club dry or with cola? I'm gonna go dry. What do you?
Yeah, dry every day of the week.
Just pencil it in. Just, we can be any bar. We're happy to be there. So let's go down. Got a comp for the women's and vet state titles, guys. That's what we might be able to have a look into. I've seen some stuff on social media about that, Trent. There's a vet in women Queensland titles. Do you know much about that?
No, we haven't been approached to do anything with it. We are happy to
absolutely
have the conversation with whoever's promoting that. I'm not sure who exactly is promoting that. But yeah, we any bit of racing we can do here in Southeast Queensland, Australia, wherever, we want to be a part of whatever we can do to get more riders on the track.
Absolutely. Now, going back before we went to a break,
yes,
you announced the competition. Just say that again for us.
Yes. So the competition for a brand new set of Pirelli tyres. I asked what the full title of the tyre was that we were giving away tonight. And what have you got there, Nick? It looks like one person's nailed it.
It is going to go to Mr. Nathan Bernard, and he has nailed it a couple of times there with the mid-hard MX-32 Pirelli Scorpion tyre, Trent.
Couple of people put in mid-hard, but we wanted the MX-32 mid-hard.
It's funny, it just went crazy, and everyone had it from the start. So congratulations, Nathan. Shoot us a message on social.
We got his details from last week. He got a shirt and hat last week. Now he's got a brand new set of tyres. We must
just put him on a payroll.
He'll be bad
soon.
He's
got more Pirelli stuff than me and you.
Yeah, he got the shirt and hat that you cannot buy anymore. Actually, got one of these hats, and this is the last one I got.
Yeah,
and then he got like
I've got to start hiding them at home.
I was like, I said to Dad, he brings in, he goes, "Oh, we'll give this tea away." I'm like, "How many more you got there?" He goes, "Oh, this is the last one." I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Just
congratulations, Nathan. You have won yourself the best tyres in the game.
That's it. We'll get them out to you. We got his details. We'll get them out to him as soon as we can. Brand new set of Pirelli Scorpion MX-32 mid-hards. They're the tyre of choice for myself. They're the ones. I love those things.
I'll run them. You got me on them as well.
Yeah.
I was not really a Pirelli guy until you got me onto it, and I ain't going back. I ain't going back.
At Toowoomba, when it went off, they're the tyres you switch to. I'm talking to Joel, and I shouldn't, because he uses a competitor's tyre. I got that out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Competitor's tyre. But if you ever want to make the switch to Pirelli, Joel, you just let us know. We know the guy.
We know a guy.
We know a guy.
He doesn't like giving me deals, but he might give you a deal. I don't know.
I'm pretty happy, boys.
We'll talk after the show. Show title.
So congratulations, Nathan Bernard. Again, share the live stream to get that, and also go to the website to send in your chance to get into the Queensland title giveaway as well. All right, let's get back to... is that all the comments, Nick?
Yeah, that's everything. So if you guys have any questions at all, any topics you want us to talk to Joel about, put them in there, and we will definitely bring it up for sure.
Well, let's get to, obviously, what's going on for you now, Joel. Obviously, the biggest thing is the YouTube channel. You created that. How long have you been doing the YouTube now for?
I'd say probably like 14 months, something like that.
Yeah.
That sound about right?
Look to Michaela for confirmation.
But no, we've been doing it a bit over a year now, so it's been cool. It's just slowly growing and growing and growing. We put in a big effort, so it's pretty cool to see some of the feedback we get now. It's like people are saying like what we're doing is really good, so it should just hopefully organically just keep growing a little bit. But no, it's cool,
dude. I'm a big fan of it. I reckon it's sick, dude. I love it. I'm full. Like, just keep doing it.
Another bandwagon to hit.
No. I'm just a big fan of just moto in general. But when you get moto YouTube and someone vlogging what they do, like, obviously we'll get into this as well. He lives on the road, so
the inside,
his whole life is on a camera, and we get to see it. It's cool. It's awesome. There must be how many hours go into one of these vlogs? I'm probably asking the wrong person because you don't do the editing, do you?
I don't do most of it. No.
Okay.
I've got to give that to Michaela.
She does a good job.
She does a lot of it. And then sort of I just help with. Yep, that's good. That's not. That's we'll keep in.
Tick and flick. Yep.
But we keep it super raw.
Yeah.
As you guys for the guys who have watched it, it's I've had some blowouts and stuff in different times, and I get angry and whatever, but we keep it all in there because it's
that's what people like to see. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like some of it can be embarrassing or whatever at times, but it's cool, and we definitely put a lot of hours into it. Each video I'd say is like we probably do like a 15-hour day.
Yeah.
The day we release it pretty well, so it's like there's nothing else really going on that day. We're just doing the video, so it's a lot more effort than I think people realize, but we like doing it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So how did it come about to go? Hey, we're gonna do this YouTube video. We're gonna do this vlog. Like I mean, we spoke about this last week. It was 1 year anniversary of the show for myself starting it. Nick asked that first time we ever worried about someone listening to the show, and I was like, that was my biggest fear was like, no one's gonna listen to this. No one cares. Like, did you have the same process with starting this? Like going, all right, we're going to do this thing and hope someone listens and watches.
Yeah, I did a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
We were definitely both nervous, and I'm sure the same as you guys, you overthink stuff that you just shouldn't even worry about. At the start, I think we were taking about 20 takes for like each little bit thing we said. And but no, it's been really cool, and everyone sort of adapted to it pretty good.
Yeah, and it's cool. As I said, the insight and the biggest thing. I mean, we spoke about this last time you were on too. I'm pretty sure, but not only is Michaela behind the camera, you get your sister Alex gets on there occasionally and runs a camera, and you get like her voice in the background, which is super cool. Like it's the family aspect of what goes on with you, and your old man's in there washing the bike. You get videos of him washing it, and I just love that. As you said, it's raw, but it has everybody in it. It's not just you. You get everybody that's involved with your whole program to be a part of this journey with you and put them on the screen as well.
It's basically like what we're doing. I feel like it's pretty cool. Like you go race dirt bikes everywhere, and we're doing it in a different way because we don't have the big backing or whatever. Yeah. So I think it's like you're saying, we just show what we do basically. So we do have everyone in there. Whoever's a part of the program basically will at some stage end up behind the camera or like in front of the camera. You'll see them there even if they don't want to be in it, sort of deal. But we just show the whole deal, and it's it's been really fun. I was trying to word this correctly, and I kind of lost my train of thought with how I wanted to word this, but putting it together, doing it, where do you find that your biggest viewership comes from? The race day stuff, the training day stuff? I mean, you've done a bunch of different ones of setting up your sponsorships and stuff. Like, you've done a heap of different. Which ones do you seem to get the biggest hit rate on? Like
the genre of the film that you create,
So the biggest numbers usually does come from the racing.
Yep.
So the whole idea with it as well, when I first started it, I've worked the whole way through my racing career, and I wanted to see what I could do doing it full time. I want to race bikes full time. So this was sort of, I saved up a bunch of money, and that's how it all started. It was like, we're just going to go on the road and see what we can do and just have a crack at it.
Yeah.
And like I explained all that through the video. So I think I've now got a bit of a relationship with my viewers and stuff like that. And they want to see how I go at the races. So maybe some of them don't get to see every single one, but if they see a race video come up, then those numbers typically are higher.
Yeah.
Well, they just want to see how I'm progressing.
Or they want to see if they're on their videos. I know I have watched one. I watched the Harvey Bay one last year, the Queensland titles, and that was like the first time I ever live it out just to hear if I was on there, because I was like, how do I actually sound over the PA? And then from there, like, I watched it and I was like hooked, and then I watched like every single one after that. So that's how I got
it. Gives people like a connection to watch though, because they obviously follow your story, follow what you do during the week. Obviously getting to the races, there's so much more of a backstory now. They can follow that. And I think that means a lot more to people when they watch your results and they see you doing well, is they feel like they're a part of that journey because it's something they've watched, that is the cool thing about vlogs is you feel like you're a fly on the wall in some of these conversations or a person's journey. You feel like you're a part of it. That's the cool thing about vlogging.
Yeah.
Viewers, how many views do you get roughly on videos versus how many subscribers you get? Like, what's the analytics of your...
That's a taboo question. Don't give out the analytics.
Oh, no, I'm just interested, like, to see, because obviously
No, it's
growing that's something hard, and when it takes off, it just does itself automatically, really.
Yeah, and it's just an effort. Like at the start, I put a heap of thought into it, and I approached a bunch of sponsors, and honestly, I aimed probably a bit high. I was like,
you got to though.
And I was like super bummed with the views and stuff at the start, and then Michaela's like, it's good. Like we're doing pretty good. And yeah, like I said, it just grows organically. I think our highest one's over 20,000 views now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
And we're getting, at one stage we were getting 70,000 views per month. It's dropped a little bit. I think we're around 50,000 views per month. So it's pretty good numbers. And it's growing all the time. Our subscribers are just under 5,000. And I know occasionally I get comments like this channel's going to grow and that sort of thing. Cause I think people who watch the stuff, they must be able to see the effort or something that we put in. Cause some of the stuff and the hours that Michaela puts on, like fine tune and the sound and stuff, so that you not listening and then all of a sudden it's super loud and it's quiet. And all that stuff takes hours. And
Well,
it's like
that's something we can sort of understand, because
Yeah.
it's like we had to teach ourselves how to do this, and we are not good at it. So to be able to learn that, and does Michaela have a background in this? Is it
No.
something she taught herself?
Neither of us had any idea.
Yeah.
So Dean and Renee, so Dean Ferris and Renee, my sister Renee, they decided to do the motocross masterclass thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an online like motocross school sort of deal.
Yeah.
And they needed a camera and they needed to do a bunch of stuff, and then we told them our idea. So we went in together and we were like, let's go to a shop and see if they'll do us a deal, because we're getting two of everything.
2 for 1.
Yeah. So we all went and bought computer, camera, microphones, like stands, all like the same day. And actually Tanea McLeod, I'm not sure if you know her, her brother raced Jake for a while. And she does a bunch of stuff, and she basically said, this is what you want, this, and this, and then we just winged it. We had no idea.
We know.
Like you boys said, YouTube's your best friend.
Yeah.
You learn a lot.
Yeah. No, that's a funny
If it's
thing.
not on YouTube, it can't be done.
Yeah.
We spoke about Michaela a little bit, and as I said, she puts a lot of effort in. I think you've put this on a vlog, or maybe we spoke about it before, but she didn't have a background in motocross at all, did she, before meeting you? And then you've just like, hey, follow me around Australia and let's live in a van and do this vlog thing. So that's a pretty massive, undertaking for her to. So and the part I like of the videos is when she comes over and starts like talking to you about racing, like for her having no background, she knows a lot about what's going on out there. I was like, holy.
Yeah, it's funny when you like obviously you hang around the boys and stuff at the track.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people have their girlfriends and stuff there, but because Michaela's such a big part of it now, she knows so much. Like she can fully change out a clutch on my bike, like not just a lever, like she can change the internals of a clutch out and stuff. And
that's
badass.
Hey, I can't even do that.
Dude, I gotta sometimes forget.
And she didn't know what a dirt bike race was when we got together. So it's pretty unreal, like that side of things. And now because we watch, like I said, I'm a big fan of it. So a lot of times we're in a little space. She doesn't have a choice. We're watching motorbikes.
Yeah.
And she can pick up stuff on the track, and we'll come in, and like people love it on the vlogs for sure, because she'll up me. She'll be like, what were you doing there? Like you're just giving time away. And,
that's cool.
But she can actually see it. It's like, it's really cool to have that like sort of relationship that we do, to where like she's a big part of it as well. So like if I fail, she sort of fails, sort of deal. And
she ride the roller coaster together. Yeah,
she knows how much I want it, so she's not scared to up me a little bit if I if I'm not performing or whatever. So it's cool.
Going back to when you first met, and you obviously had to explain what motocross is, but you're just like, I'm a pretty big deal. You're just like, how did you sell it to her? And like, were you just like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty good, or I can do it, or how was that? That would be pretty funny.
She always knew I rode motorbike, so we didn't actually know each other through school.
Yeah.
But we went to the same school.
Yeah.
So I was always on crutches or like just like typical motorbike stuff, and then taking time off to go to a race or whatever. So she sort of knew somewhat what I did, and then once we started dating, she was at uni and at the Sunshine Coast pretty well straight away. I was like, oh, come out, I'll show you. Like, we went to Roy's Road.
Yeah.
Went riding. And
that's funny.
Like, pretty well one of her first experiences with dirt bike, and I ate it. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know who I was. Like, I was fully out.
No.
She had to load the bike, put dints all through the van because it was like, didn't know. And like, I was like, oh.
Is that when you're like, she's the one?
yeah. She did pretty well. She said she was, freaking out, but it's like I introduced her in like the worst way, and she stuck around. So it's pretty cool.
Straight in the deep end.
Yeah. Keep her around. So I mean, we couldn't go past. I mean, talking about what's going on with you without obviously having a bit of input from her, because they said it's super rad, and again, I think it's one of those things that people don't realize. It's a partnership between the two of you that doing this. Like, she lives on the road with you, which is the part I want to get to now. Like, you guys are living on the road. You've just been down in Melbourne, South Australia, down in Victoria. I shouldn't say Melbourne, but Victoria, South Australia. Been hanging around down there, riding.
I wouldn't say it too loudly, mate.
yeah, you're good.
I'll be locked up.
Yeah, but you've been all down there, and she's been with you the whole time. Been down there working, riding, doing all that sort of stuff. So like, it's a massive undertaking. But how was your trip down south? Like, you got to ride some pretty cool places and hang out with some pretty cool people down there.
Yeah, really cool. Like I said, we did it all together. So at the same time, we come up with a plan, and Michaela just had a pretty well dream job, and she quit her job to do it and everything. So it's a big undertaking, and it's just it's been really cool, like, to experience this stuff, being on the road, being down south, and we met so many cool people. Like Portland areas, little town, in South Victoria, unreal for dirt bikes. Like, the tracks there is just like sand tracks everywhere, and they're just epic. And the people there were unreal. They were just, I didn't even know. This kid invited me out to a track, and we were motoing there. And then like the third day, this guy turns up and he's like, "Oh, I own the place. I saw that you were here on your Instagram." And I had no idea who he was, and he's like, "Yeah," he was pumped, and then he was there helping me with like settings and stuff. So
that's cool. Is that like some of the areas where Keisha used to ride?
Yeah,
I like, dude, the videos from that were incredible.
Yeah, so I didn't actually go to was it Moto 5 or something where you had that epic scene?
Oh, dude.
A bunch of the boys, like Hadar fellas, were down there training. They were like, "Oh, come with us," and they're like, "Oh, you probably can't with your tank, actually." Like, you might make it. But so that's where they were going, and it was so epic riding down there. Like, we weren't a fan of the cold, but it rained like every day, which just made the tracks mint.
It preps it perfectly with the wind. Yeah.
So it was like dirt bike heaven down there.
Yeah. And then you went over to South Australia, and you got to ride at Meddy's and that sort of stuff as well, which is we've had Meddy on the phone here before. And when they come to Queensland, I want to get him in, because like, to us, like, Meddy was one of those guys when we were growing up, probably same to you, where you just like, he was like so much talent on a dirt bike. So to go ride at his house and with him, that must have been like, you going, "Oh shit, what am I doing here? What's going on?" Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And it's like, I've always been like pretty well the shy guy. Like, I'm not a big extrovert or whatever. But just like meeting these sort of people, it's unreal. And like I said, I'm a fan of motocross, so to go ride at Brett Metcalf's house, even though I'm battling him now, like I'm racing him, it's like, that's like super cool. And it's like, I've become mates with the Moss boys now. And like, they're both really cool guys as well. Like, I know it's like a lot of people have certain opinions about them, but when you actually meet them, like, they're really cool dudes.
Just misunderstood. I think that's all
sure.
that is. Yeah.
And like, just you meet all these people, and I'm like, was huge fans of them growing up, sort of thing. So it's been really cool to do that. And most of them are really like real, just like down to earth, good guys. Like I said, Gibbsy, I just went up to him after the moto that we just battled and got advice off him. Like, they're
Gibbsy,
pretty open.
Gibbsy's
cool
a good
guys.
guy.
Yeah.
Big Gibbsy fan.
Big Gibbs guy.
Big.
So Pro MX, we've had 2 rounds so far. Unfortunately, postponed Gilman, which hopefully we've had conversations today, Nick, which we can't talk about, but there's the date has maybe been set for that Gilman round being redone. If you haven't heard, we'll tell you after the show.
I heard just before I walked in. Yeah,
cool. Yeah. So the first 2 rounds, have been, good for you. You've said it on your vlog. You've pretty happy. You've been building towards what you want to do in that, but you've, as you said, I need to do more work here, which is great. But how have you found the start of the season for you, and having Pro MX back, as we had no racing last year as well?
Yeah, it was good. First round for me, I was feeling pretty good going in, and first race, first turn,
Go down.
pile up.
Yeah.
I subluxed my shoulder and tore my labrum a bit, so
Yeah.
that was rough. It's getting better now to where I can do some push-ups now, but it's been pretty rough. But like my riding and everything's been pretty cool, and the level is in Australia is getting deeper and deeper. I feel like I know I'm in it, so I might be a little bit biased saying that, but it just seems pretty gnarly now. Like I feel like the 450 class used to be 5 dudes that are really good, and then it sort of dropped off a fair bit, whereas now I feel like it's more 10, 15.
I reckon you're absolutely correct there. It is.
Because like at Kingaroy round, like I know it's just a local race, but me and Gibbsy battled pretty hard in like some of those motos, and he can win.
Yeah.
And it's like just at a national level, it's like I put in a good lap on a qualifying. I think, that'll be pretty solid. I'll be around 6th, and I'm like 15th. I'm like, man, come on.
Yeah.
So it's the level here is pretty nuts, and like it's getting better and better, and it's pretty cool like to see that actually.
Yeah, and we've had the bench racing question about obviously Motocross of Nations. Like, who the hell do you pick?
Don't bring this up again.
I know.
I have not been able to sleep.
Joel's a fan of the sport, and I could let him ponder on it a little bit, but should have hit you with that at the break, actually. But, like, who would you pick for, like, Motocross of Nations? Because you got, not only do we have such a stacked field here in Australia, then you obviously got Mitch and Jed and Wilson Todd in the GPs now, and then you've got the Lawrence brothers in US. It's like, who the hell do you go with as a team to Motocross of Nations, and which are in Italy?
You can't do it. You can't pick, can you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like
You've stopped it. Just
No,
good job, Trent.
Obviously, it's hard. You got to pick one of the Lawrence boys for one of the 250 spots.
Yeah.
Jed, I think, and it's hard.
It's hard,
but
because
I'd go Mitch Evans for sure if he's healthy on the 450.
Yeah.
The dude's unreal. And I think he hasn't got to show what he can do yet.
Yeah.
Bummed
he missed the first round too. That was
he's had a bit of a rough run with that wrist, but I'd probably go Mitch, Jet, and Duffy.
Would you put Hunter on a 450?
I'd like to for sure.
Yeah.
But I think like he'd obviously be awesome on it.
Yeah, I think he transitioned really, really well onto it.
Duffy he'd want the opportunity, I feel, and like he was killing it like in the little run that he had. Like if it's sand as well, like
nah, I think it's in Italy, isn't it? Mantova. I think I heard today. I was listening to something.
I thought it was still up in the air.
I heard that it was somewhere, and I forget now. I was going to write it down because I think it's hard pack.
Yeah.
So if it's hard packed, then that kind of throws, everything a little different. Because,
for sure. Yeah.
As I said, we know Regan Duffy is a beast and he's good on hard pack, but I mean, then do you look at somebody else that has got the credentials on hard pack to go?
Yeah, probably. Either way, Aussie's going to have a good team.
It's solid, and that's what we were talking about. It's like, how do you pick? And then we're like, we are probably going in with one of the best chances, I think. As long as, again,
when you think about it,
all healthy, but
we always do have a good team.
We do.
It just friggin' rains every time.
yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen again. But we got off topic. But yeah, the field is stacked and in both classes too, like even our MX2 class and our MX3 as well. Like that new class is sick. The one thing I wanted to ask you about Pro MX is, you've done it previously under WEM, and now we've got MA running it with the Pro MX. How different is it, if it is any different, to the previous way it was run to what it is now, or is it very much just sort of copy-paste at the moment?
It's a lot of it's similar.
Yeah.
There was a few growing pains and stuff at the first round, just people unsure of exactly like how they run things, and the first 450 moto was pretty nuts. It was like the 15-second board went up.
Yeah.
And Michaela said half the field wasn't on their bikes because it's like it was just run a little bit different. And everyone, like Kevy Williams was like, you say what you want about him, but it run to the second.
Yeah.
Like you knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
But honestly, it all runs pretty good. It runs sweet. The TV package is unreal.
Yeah.
But what I think changed the most, and it's probably not so much MA, it's just because of COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone at round one, even though it was miserable weather and whatever, everyone was so happy to be there.
Yeah.
Like it was a whole
Racing's
different
back.
vibe.
Yeah.
Like Nationals is usually serious and like it's just like a weird environment. Like it's not a real cool vibe, I guess. Like it's everyone's pretty intense and whatever.
Yeah.
And first round was like everyone was just smiling, like it just pumped to be back racing. So
now,
that was the difference I felt.
A question I have as well is with filming at the Nationals.
Yeah.
How do you go with that? How do you go with getting your we saw a little bit
rabbit hole.
we saw a little bit of it, like with the structure, because obviously we want to be media for it. We want a lot to do with it. And I was getting a little bit confused with the setup of how it is. So can you guys film at the Nationals?
So we're not really meant to, and you're not allowed on track. So we went through all the process of getting Michaela a media pass.
Yep. Same thing we would have went through, yeah.
Paid for all the stuff and whatever. And then it was like, okay, but you're not allowed to film. And like, we told you what we're doing it for.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think it's not so much like the guys running. It's like TV is so aggressive with what you have to do.
Yeah.
So we film from the side basically, and I don't think anyone can say anything from that because like no one's going to go and rip cameras out of fans' hands sort of deal.
No,
but that's all we can do. So we went, we had to invest in a bigger lens and stuff in the camera because we're like, well, we can't really just get nothing at a national because that's what everyone's going to be keen to watch. So it was a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. It's cool to have TV for us.
Yeah, and that's the main part is we get to watch it as fans of the sport, and not being able to get to every round is like get to actually see every round now. And, watch it from that. But we experienced that, and to be honest, dude, I love the background stuff. Like, I mean, we've watched hours of racing, and like I enjoy seeing a bit of it, and then I'm like, I just want to hear what's going on behind the helmet, like after it, like that's
what's going on in the pits.
That's the stuff I enjoy. So as I said, if you try and please me, don't worry about it. But I mean, people do like to see the race, and if they don't watch the TV package, it's cool to see a little bit. But
sure.
I mean, at the state level stuff and that, it's get to see you go around, and I mean, we got to watch the Toowoomba one there. That you got some sick footage, and again, I think now too you're getting a little following as well, where people are like helping you out and sending you footage, which is sick. Like that's the community that we love about motocross, and everyone's sort of helping everyone out to go to the next step. So
going about Toowoomba, there is a question here from Toowoomba.
Oh,
let's go through that now. So from Billy Berry, here's a question for Joel. Last year, you copped a wheel from Latimer. From the footage my missus had, it was a pretty good rare T-bone. I'm pretty sure you might have been battling for second place last year in the same time round. Your recent video was released, and there was a little bit of redemption, as you could say, a little bit of payback. The question is, was anything said after the moto between you and Latimer? I think there's a lot of people know about this, but that's really cool. See, that's something that obviously someone watches your videos and takes from that. So I don't know how you're going to answer that, but
no, I'm not afraid of it. For sure, it's like last year at Toowoomba, me and Lockie come together, and I went down. I just left the door open, and he got me, so fair enough.
Yeah.
But now I got back up, and it was all good. And then this year, after the finish line, I had a good run. I took the berm, he took the rut, and outbroke him into the turn. He went to turn in, hit me, and fell over. And there was a lot said after the race.
I know, I was there. I was standing there like...
Yeah, the crew wasn't real pumped on it, but I think like we put it in the... it's in the YouTube video, the latest YouTube video, if anyone wants to check it out. And I think it's in the heat of the moment, like everyone gets angry. Like we've all raced dirt bikes before, and I reckon the first 5 to 10 minutes afterwards, you can't take it to heart too much because he was super pissed, but...
I'm sure it's completely different now.
But hopefully he is, especially if you can see that footage, because I still honestly don't think I did a single thing wrong there. It's just his racing, I outbroke him, and it is what it is. So hopefully we can just move on from it. I like Lockie. He's a cool dude. He's always happy to be around. We had some run-ins with the Latimers in the past, and
that's
hopefully I can leave that in the past a little bit.
Cool.
No.
That's a good question. Thank you.
Yeah. Alert too, going back in the archives.
That's what I was reading. I was just like, I forgot about that.
He's gone way back in the archives.
Good job.
Got any other comments there? Because we got some listener questions for you, Joel, that we're going to fire off here and
let's go
see what you can produce. But
so Anthony Rutledge, you're going to do a clutch next week. You're okay with that? A lot of more people getting shared, so that's exactly what we want to see. Share it as it's live, and you go on the chance to win the iPhone oil deal. Bradley February, I think it is, shared any news on the way we can watch AMA yet. Cheers, guys. There will be an announcement, I believe, this week.
Yep.
With a better way for us to watch AMA motocross in Australia. So hopefully that comes out this week.
Yeah.
What have you got?
Hopefully. All right, we got a couple of questions here. We put a one of those posts up, ask questions to the guests we're having in, and we appreciate people who send some stuff through because it gives us little questions, but there's also some inside jokes, I think, coming your way, Joel, which is exactly what we're about here at the Moto Limited Show, is all the inside jokes. So the first one is obviously Anthony Rutledge. He wants to know that, he said, herd pups creeping closer to on the lap times on the home track. So he thinks he's getting closer to you, but...
he's been working hard, the big fella. He's squatting every day. He's keeping those squats going. I think he probably should go for a run, but it'd probably help him a bit more than the squat. But no, old Anthony. He's been doing an awesome job lately. Actually, this week I was down training at his place. I think it's 275 compound or something on Instagram, and you've been there, Trent.
Yeah,
like this week has been epic. Like the track is unreal. He's got like 3 different tracks there. And it was like a national style prep this week, and like it was sick because I've been feeling really fast lately, but then you go to a national track and it's just so different. Because we all try to go so fast the first few laps of qualifying, it's like our tracks are junk. Like you got big hooks and everything. Yeah. And I had that, so it was a real cool day training. So I got to thank Anthony as much as I'd like to give him shit.
Absolutely. Like that's another person in the sport that's just trying to help people getting these tracks up. So jump on social media and look that up for sure. 275 compound.
Yeah, he does some coaching and some riding out there, that's for sure. Nick Schmidt 77. When did you first think you wanted to have a career in motocross? We sort of touched on this, but where the specific moment where you're like, I'm going to make this a job, was that this year when you actually went out, or last year, sorry, when you went out?
Nah, I think I've specifically wanted that since I was about 16. Yeah, I've really wanted that, but it's just about knowing how to go about it. Yeah.
We got one here that's about funding your racing, which we've sort of covered on that a little bit as you go on to sponsors, get what you need to. And it's on your YouTube channel. If you want to know exactly how it breaks down, go and check out Joel Evans on YouTube, and you'll go exactly how he breaks that down and funds his racing throughout the year.
If you guys want a My Pitboard, I sell those now. I'm an Australian importer for My Pitboard. So
we were getting to that.
I had it written down as well because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, because I could use one of them for training purposes.
What are you trying to do? You don't train.
By 3 laps. So I can time how slowly they progress downwards.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm reading this one and I'm like, how?
See, you see, it's hard. You got to proofread everything before you say it.
Move Moto. Any riders you don't like lining up against, and is your van smelly?
No, Michaela's got the van pretty tight. Yeah, she keeps it good.
Airtight between the bikes and the front part. So
it's fairly airtight. Yeah. So if I spill a bunch of fuel, you will smell it. But for the most part, you're pretty sweet.
Yeah.
As far as not lining up against people, like I don't know, I'm pretty good with anyone. I think like occasionally, if you have a run in with someone, maybe the next week you don't want to be next to them.
Yeah.
But
well, what in a sense? I mean, it probably Jay Wilson, like someone you always line up against. You go, man, like this guy, like your whole career.
Actually, I hate racing Caleb Barham.
Yeah.
He's like, that dude gets to start every single time.
Power to weight ratio, the little dude.
And he is impossible to pass. Even if you've got the speed on him that day, it's like he's good about it too. Like it's not dirty sort of thing how he does it, but he definitely puts his bike in front of you.
It doesn't look like he's slowing it down either. He just knows where to be.
Moto 2 up at Toowoomba on
Moto 3.
Sorry, Moto 3. Yeah.
You guys example. Yeah. And he was riding good that day, but I didn't. He was a tick off those boys. It's like it's just that's how it was. But he's just able to stay there, and it's a cool thing that he is able to do. But to race against it sucks.
Yeah. Commentating, it was brilliant for us. But how day to go?
Dude, it was good.
Kingy140 wants to know what have been the best years of your racing.
I don't know. I'd probably say this one
right now.
Right now, I enjoy it sort of more than ever. Where I was probably feeling the best was right before I had my big neck injury. I was I was flying that year. So I just won the Queensland titles and it was like racing NATO and Wade Hunter and stuff like that. And that was really, really good year for me. I was feeling good. But other than that, I'd say now I'm feeling good on the bike and it's just fun going racing the way that we are.
Yeah. Was it 252 stroke? Was that the year? Was that when you came back?
No, it was after I come back. It was the 2-stroke.
Yeah.
I was on a
That was cool.
KX 250 then.
Yeah.
Best bike in the field, mate.
Yeah.
Best bike in the field.
King U140's come in hot with a heap of questions here, so I'll read out a couple of them. Do you ever think you'll get on a factory team? I mean, in Australia, there's limited spots, but is that an aspiration of yours?
That's 100% aspiration. That's like a dream of mine, and it's like I'm not naive in realizing that I'm not going to make $1 million from racing dirt bikes. And that's why I sort of had a question. It's like I'm going hard for this goal. But they're like, you're not going to make any money from it.
Yeah.
Like if I just got on a team, like someone saw that I was good enough and put me on a team, it's like that's
an arm.
It's
they
it's
could
more
give me
than
$3 to ride that bike, and I'd be pumped. So
it's more people believing in you that is the drive you get from it.
And just that, like that's a dream as a kid. Like you want to be under a truck, and like you want to have the people that they give you free bikes, and it's like all they want from you is to perform.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like I did the Gypsy Tales podcast and Jace was like pumped about the YouTube and stuff, which is super cool. And it's like I just like my goal is still racing. It's like I love that and I love the YouTube stuff, but it's like just this is like a personal goal of mine is like I want to see if I can make it on a team or something like that. And it might seem unrealistic to some, but I believe in myself and I'm getting better and better and I've shown it occasionally, so I'm going to keep trying anyway.
Absolutely.
How old are you now?
26.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the thing. I'm not sure if anyone's ever done it this late.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
No,
like,
that'd be an achievement in itself. Like, getting to it, but being at 26, like most people's career are on like the back end, and you're still going up.
Dude, look at Medi.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I mean in Australia we are so polar backwards to everything.
Oh it's never say never.
And it's the thing too. It's like I know I was always stressed at 18. I was like, oh, it's got to be my last year if I don't win this year. And it's like put so much pressure on yourself, and you know how it is. It's like as you get older, you realize how young you are, and it's like right now, it's like me and Michaela are broke, but we're having a good time, just like chasing the dream. So like I'm fine being 26 doing this, and I want to just like that's still my goal to be on a team, and I'm gonna keep working hard and just see if it can happen.
Yeah, for sure, and we hope it does because as I said, you've been through the ringer and coming out the other side, and to get yourself to that point would be an epic task, and we would be backing.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like the story that you have, I think, is forgotten so much, and to bring it back up, it just makes you think back to that. And dude, we're all hanging for it. We'll be all pumped if that come up. So
I appreciate all the support. Everyone's been really cool.
I got one more here, and from one of our sponsors, Stu Young, sent one through. Stewie Young, he's why the 450 class and not a lights bike?
Original decision. I was running out of money on the lights bike. I just the maintenance schedule more so than blowing bikes up or making them super fast, because I still feel like if you're a good enough rider, even on the 250, you can still like do well.
Make the difference.
You don't need all that power, but it is important, and then also just like you're just revving the thing so much, so the maintenance is high.
And the competitive side of it is these bikes. A lot of these guys to be competitive, you got to put a lot of money into these motorcycles.
Yeah.
Whereas a 450, it's more suspension, it's more your steering, it's more the chassis setup.
Just like making the power where you want it.
Exactly.
Sort of thing.
More usable power.
Yeah, and I feel like I've never been someone who's a massive rever and like super aggressive anyway. Like if you watch me ride, a lot of the times I don't probably look that fast. Like I do a lot of riding with Jace Cosford, and we're pretty opposite. Like he's
dude loves to send it.
Yeah, he looks unbelievable on a dirt bike, and sometimes I'll watch him. I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. You can't go faster. Then I'll beat him by like a second or two.
Yeah,
and like it swaps back and forth. But so I think I suit the 450, like my style and everything like that. Once I jumped on it and got used to it a little bit, I was always scared of my strength.
Yeah.
Being that, like I said, like my shoulder and stuff like that. And I had a good talk to Dean Ferris about it when I was going to do it. And he just said, man, just, again, technique.
Yeah.
Get your ass over the back more, because I was always more of an upright rider.
Mm-hmm.
He said, then you can control the rear more. And we worked on that a bit. And I feel like the 450 suits me good now.
Yeah.
And I feel like on a one lap, on certain tracks. Like I'm pretty damn fast on the 450, so I think it just suits me pretty good. Even though I'm probably I'd say I'd be the lightest guy on a 450 out there.
And like transitioning off a lights bike onto a 450, that was something you found easy.
Yeah,
that was something that sort of complemented your riding style. Is that right?
Yeah. It took me a couple days.
Yeah.
The first day, like a buddy of mine, he said, I didn't say anything to you at the time, but he's like, oh, I was
That's
like, you're just flopping around on top of that thing. But it took only a couple days, and then I started to get in the groove of it and adapted real quick. Yeah.
Did you ever think the 350 were out at one point? Or?
No.
Didn't even cross.
The way that I ride, it's funny. I never thought that I would ever want more power in a 450.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm fairly smooth, but when I want the power, I want it to be there.
Yeah, right. There,
and like you watch my latest video, that first start I got, it wasn't the best. I jumped, I wheelied a little bit, hit the clutch, and me and Gibbsy were next to each other, and I pulled him. but we don't have much. But Jed Parsons Motorsport, he did a little work to the engine, just like you guys saying, and tuning, made it to where I want it, just nice smooth power. And the thing's a rocket. So
we've got to get that dude on, man.
Yeah,
I hear his name so much, and it is really, really positive. So
he does a lot for the sport. He's helped so many guys. One year he helped me way more than he should have. Like almost like it. He's younger than me, and he just really wanted to be a mechanic, and he wanted to go around to the nationals. He traveled everywhere, all off his own dime. Traveled everywhere, and like. He does a lot for the sport, so yeah, definitely. Like he'd be a cool guy to talk to.
Yeah. He's commented before, and he was actually the one that hit us up to get Jai Constantino on as well. And say get him on. So I think we need to get him on. It's just trying to get people.
and Cosford as well. Cosford talks really, really high of his program.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a couple of things left. Obviously, you got two sisters and you got two brother-in-laws that race as well. So
it's a big family in this sport.
I mean, you got pretty lucky with who you get to consider part of your family now. With obviously Dean and then Luke as well. Being a part of the crew there. One of the things we were talking about in our group chat before we got here with the marketing chick, and she's like, "He's got some pretty fast brother-in-laws." I was like, "Yeah." So you obviously bounce. I said you talk to Dean a lot, and he helps you out a lot, and. I mean, obviously, Luke as well, you guys obviously have a pretty good relationship as well and bounce off each other. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was cool. Dean at the start, honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't like him very much. Just like he puts off a bit of a perception of how he is, but it's just in his career, and it's like a really cool asset that he had. Was like game face sort of deal. And he was just focused. And like, just
Renee,
like once
what are you doing?
But once you learn the guy, he's a real cool guy. And like now he's relaxed a little bit. Obviously he's not racing, and he's a real cool guy, and he helped me out a ton. Like he's a pretty driven guy, and he does his own thing, but he was definitely willing to go, if you're willing to put in the work, like he would never offer anything. But if you're willing to put in the work, you ask the questions and that sort of thing, that's the type of guy he is. He'll give you the answer. He'll try to help here and there and whatever. And like his help has been like crazy valuable to me. And then Luke, Luke's just a real good dude. He's a good time. At the moment, we just started to do a little riding together because he's riding more probably than ever right now.
He's riding well at the moment too.
The guy's a nutcase. He's like
rip starts. Like
dude, that thing is quick off the gate.
Typically the end of a moto, I'm the fastest dude. At the start, it's Luke. So I just said I need to bottle up some of that. And if you combine the two of us, we'd be pretty unstoppable. But it's insane. Like he can. On the weekend, I think even Toowoomba, he starts like fourth. By third corner, he passes Gibbsy and he's winning.
It's the green bike. I'd imagine.
Sprint speed, dude. His sprint speed is amazing.
He's talented on a dirt bike for sure.
And I mean that whole family was ridiculous. It's ridiculous how they get it. But I mean, with Dean and that, like I grew up with knowing Dean from back when he was. Living on the farm and, and then obviously, we knew him before he lost his dad, and then after that and going to races and stuff. And like, I remember him from there, and I remember when he came back from Europe, he was with Renee at Toowoomba. He'd just come back, he was doing a sunny states, and I'm like, no chance. He remembers who I am. He goes, "Hey Trent, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it totally. But he was like that. Like he had his game face on. But like if he wanted to talk, if he knew you and wanted to talk to you, he'd just like say hey. And he was completely. And that's the one thing I always. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's game face," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he's he's still in deep down, he's still that same guy that
Yeah.
you knew when you were a kid. And now
Yeah.
that he's obviously retired and laid back, he's back to that. And when we catch you guys at Brunswick Heads on the bus party, I was like, all of the odds of all of the weekends to be in Brunswick Heads is when Joel and Dean and the whole crew are down there on his Bucks party just hanging out before the wedding. I was like, oh, small world, eh? So
Crazy.
hey, Joel looks at me, he goes, hey, that's Trent. And I look at Joel, I'm like, hey, it's Joel. Like, random as. So it's a good time. It's a good time for sure. The other thing I want to touch on is obviously the My Pit Board. You said it there before. How did that sort of come about for you? How did you get in contact with those guys and then now become the Australian distributor?
More so, can you explain it? Because there's a lot of people that don't actually understand it, Trent, as well.
Yeah.
If you can explain it first and then exactly follow on to that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so it's basically, it's all runs off satellites. It's a bar pad, but it has a little basically LED screen on your bar pad, and it'll track all your lap times. So it eliminates needing someone on a pit board. So basically, you go to a track, set your point, like Toowoomba, when I was racing there on the weekend. I just walked up to the finish line jump. It was legit before my practice.
Yeah.
I just walked up there, just set the point. Each time I come past finish line jump, on my handlebars there, I have my lap time.
Yeah.
So super simple to use. It all runs off satellites, so you don't need anything other than your bar pad.
Yeah.
And it just tracks all your laps. You can break down into segments and everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think educating people on it a little bit is the biggest thing because Jay Wilson bought one.
Yeah.
And he just saw me at the track with it, and then I got talking to him, and he just said, "Oh, I'll buy one for sure."
Yeah.
Because obviously, a lot in Australia, like we don't have mechanics all the time, like America, like we see on TV or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just he just said it's invaluable.
Yeah.
Like to be able to, he said beforehand he'd do 30s, just do 30s every time he went to the track because he's just doing motos for fitness. If he did sprints, there's no point because he didn't know if he was actually going fast. But now he's able to do sprints because he's immediately on his bar pad there. He's like, okay, I just did a 115. Let's see if we can get under that.
So the data that gets, can you upload that, or can you pull it from that onto a computer, or can you view it on the internet? How does that data get off the bar pad sort of into something where you can keep long-term track of it?
Yeah, so right now, the idea is just to be super simple. It's just the bar pad.
Yep.
So after you're done your moto, you just click stop.
Yep.
Show you your overall time, laps you've done, and then you can click a little stopwatch, top right-hand side, and it'll just break down all your laps.
Yep.
So lap 1, 113, lap 2, 113 sort of deal.
Yep.
And it's just all there on your bar pad. So what I personally do, I just take a photo of it, or I just study it at the time because I don't look back on it too much. I just study the laps and go, okay, sweet. But it's like everyone uses it something a little bit different. Luke Reardon, he bought one, and where he uses his is during the races.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't care as much training, but during the race he wants that. I don't look at mine during the race, so I'll just like there's enough going on. But I can't train without it now because it's like when you're doing your motos, especially if by yourself, you end up thinking about home and away or something. Really.
Yeah, it gives you something to constantly chase.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
I know my buddy Johnny, he helps me out a ton. He goes to all the racing stuff with me. He doesn't really get to ride much, but he bought one off me, and he just said like he's only doing 5-lap motos, but he said it's unreal because he's never had anyone pitboard for him in his life.
Yeah.
And he said it's so cool having that, like,
because
I can see the time.
Because it shows up pretty big when you cross the line, like a pretty decent display. So if you do want to look down, like you can literally read what your lap time was, and it stays up for a period of time, and then
it stays up until the next lap, until you cross back over.
Oh yeah, so you can look at it
you've
any
got the
time.
whole lap.
Yeah. That's it. Because I had a Lit Pro when I came back, and that was the one thing I was like that pissed me, like because I'd come in and I'd look and I'm like, oh, that lap. I was like, damn it, because you got to download it off your thing. Where that is sick because you, as I said, each time you're like looking at it, going bang, you're keeping yourself accountable during that lap.
Yeah. So yesterday out at Anthony's place, I was just picked this tabletop where I wanted it, and just each time over there, I just looked down the bar pad and I was like, just try and chase 112s all day, sort of thing. Just wanted to hit that mark. And it's honestly, it's been massive for my training.
Yeah.
I think they're unreal.
So like Trent was saying, how did you get involved with that? Was that something you're like, dude, this is a cool thing, and sort of look for that product? How has that sort of come into what you're doing?
So Chris Keefer, he tested one basically. So Keefer testing. Yeah. And I saw it.
Big Keefer.
Yeah. Hey, we got a lot of you got a lot of the same interests right now.
So I saw it on his Instagram, and then I basically just went on and I messaged him and said, oh, like, how do I get one of these things? Because they're from Canada is the where the company is.
Yep.
And they just said, oh, we can get you one. And I just said, oh, is there any chance you help us out a little bit with one of them?
Yeah.
And then they checked the YouTube out and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you a bit of a discount. And it'll just for you to be able to see if it works in Australia, because there haven't been one there yet. It's all new.
Yeah.
So I did a bit of testing and development with them before I actually come out with it, and then they said they must have obviously liked who I was and just said, oh, if you want a bigger part of it, then if you're happy to promote it there and be the face of it in Australia, then we'll happily have you on board. So
that's cool. So how do people get a hold of you to get one? How do they purchase one? Like your website set up and everything like that?
So mypitboard.au is on all socials. And then au.mypitboard, or just type in mypitboard.com. It'll come straight to our site. That's how you do it. But just DM me personally if you got questions. Because like I said, I obviously have a big part of it, so it's probably sounds biased if I'm saying it's unreal. But go ask Jay Wilson. He bought one. I didn't sponsor him because I don't have that luxury right now. He was happy to support me and just buy one, and just go ask him. Like he swears by the thing. He's using it over in New Zealand right now training. So ask him. Brett Metcalf uses it. Like Luke Reardon uses it. A bunch of the boys are starting to get on it. Jats uses it. So ask anyone who's got one, or just DM me, ask me any questions about it, because I honestly do believe in it. I bought one to get it to start with. Because I wanted it for training. So.
That's cool.
No, that's cool. And that's the other part is like the entrepreneurship of you going out and, tracking that down. And, that's something, as much as you want to continue racing's your main focus, you're sort of setting yourself up as well for that time when racing decides to not be the main focus, and you've got these businesses started and the YouTube started and things like that. That's a brilliant idea.
Well, that was sort of one of my next questions is, what's the plan for when, obviously, we all can't race professionally forever. What's the plan for Joel Evans after racing?
Oh, exactly what you said, like trying to start some stuff. It scares me. I still can't even imagine not racing.
There's a lot of years left.
We had a question. It was like, when do you think you're going to retire? I was like, I'm staying well away from that, because that is a bad question to ask.
It's just like some people might go, hey, like I want to get into running a team, or I want to do this. And so obviously after racing, you're going to stay in the sport, the industry. You're going to be a part of that for the rest of your life.
So I had a job outside the industry and everything. I just, like I said, I'm such a huge fan of the sport. I love being around it. I love being at the track. So I want to be within the industry in some way. So I started this other, different ways now. And honestly, it was always a goal of mine. I'm not sure how it would ever work. It was like, I love Eldon Baker's whole deal, and it's like, it'd be so cool to do something like that here. I just don't know how you would even start it, or whatever, but that's like a bit of a, it's a back thought right now, honestly. It's more so, like I said, like this My Pitboard stuff. I'm actually just coming into a bigger role with Backyard Designs, to be a bit more of an ambassador for those guys. Obviously, you guys support them, and they support a lot of the industry stuff, so they're a cool company to be a part of, and just try to do a bit of coaching and stuff like that. I've actually been enjoying that a fair bit, and just mentoring some kids, and man, it's insane how fast kids are now.
And how smart they are.
Like,
as in being able to put racing together, set up passes, and just their mentality behind it. Me and Trent obviously get to watch a lot of these junior guys, and we both stand by. It's friggin' amazing.
That junior lights classes at the moment is insane. Mini lights as well, at the older age group. That, the kids that are like 12 to 16 right now are just freaks coming through, and I'm like, this is, it's great, because it means the sport is bouncing back. Like, man, our heyday when it was like those fields were deep with talent, and then it kind of went away for a bit, and now it looks like it's starting to come back with just talent coming through at all levels.
Super cool.
But that's cool, like you found a sort of a niche thing you can bring in to be part of the industry, whereas there isn't really anything else that does that. So that's something you can grow for sure. And I think, like you said, people can see how much use they're getting out of it. They do a lot of riding during the week. They can see the lap times. They can see everything right there in front of them. I think that's going to be something that grows really, really big.
Yeah, and it's like I want to get across a little bit as well. It's not just for pros.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, that
just people like yourself, obviously, that can't have a mechanic at the track.
Yeah.
Or just to look at lap times.
Yeah. Like it's Jace McKelp on Gypsy Tales. He he's actually the only guy I've ever sponsored. Because he helped me out a fair bit through the podcast and stuff like that. And I got a fair bit of feedback from him, and he said it's unreal. It's like I don't do 15-minute motos because it's hard or whatever, but it's like he wants to just keep pushing because he sees the time there.
Turn it into a little game almost. Yeah.
So it's just cool seeing lap times. Like obviously dirt bikes are fun as it is.
Yeah.
But to then have also something to chase.
Yeah.
I honestly, I bought a second one. I got one for free. Just through my deal. And then I forgot it at the track one day.
Oh, yeah.
And it cost me a fair bit still to buy them.
Yeah.
Like just the unit. And I just bought one that day because I had another one that fan. So I bought it because I was like, I need it. It's it helps so much at the track. So I don't want to harp on too much, but
that's all right.
They're a cool thing. Yeah.
How much do they go for? Like if people want to buy one of them?
Yeah, they're $4.99.
Yeah.
So in dirt bikes, it's really not that much if you think of how much
it can do
how much
for
you can do for you, and then just how much enjoyment you can get out of it too. Like if your goal's not to be a champion or whatever, it's just good fun to chase yourself.
Chase yourself, and then you get one,
or your buddies or whatever if they got one too.
You match each other. You can't lie. You can't bullshit your way out of a laptop.
And I don't know about you guys, but they look pretty badass too. They look cool.
They've done a good job designing them. So check them out. My Pitbull at AU on all the socials, or get on
slide on into the DM.
Get into Joel's DMs for sure. Well, man, that's all I had. That was epic. I mean, I think Nick, we need to get him in for a show like off the back of some
hardcore dude. I'd love to go deep with him. American bench racing
stuff.
I'd be into that.
Fans of man, we live it. So if you want to sit down and talk motocross for a couple of hours, we're the guys. We love that stuff. We, as I said, with what we do, and we get the little back end of it, but you just sit there and it's epic too how deep the racing is. Even in, we're talking about Australia, how deep it is. How deep is it in the US right now too?
Who's your guy? Give me a 250 guy, 450 guy.
Yeah, right. So I reckon I'd say my 450 guy is AC. I've been an AC guy forever.
I told you, me and Joel Evans, mate.
You got to keep that bike off the ground, man.
No, he'll get it. You wait.
Dude, absolutely. He's gonna win a lot of championships.
He's been my guy for a long time. And then 250s, it changes so much, but I'm a Hunter guy for sure.
So am I.
I'm all about Hunter, his style and stuff. You can't floor it really. It's pretty perfect. And like I like his personality. Like Jet's obviously cool and fun and whatever, but it's like I'd relate I think more to Hunter. Like his
story is a lot
bit of a quieter. Like he sort of has a good time, but a bit of a quieter dude. And he's just unreal on a dirt bike.
Now, out of Austin Faulkner and Eli Tomac, who's the first one out of those two? This is a question for both of you. Who's the first one out of those two to turn this thing around? And by turn it around, I mean top 5 consistently or race wins even.
This year? I don't know. I'd say Faulkner.
So am I. Trent?
Oh, dude. That it's a never-ending story. I think Faulkner hasn't got the hardest road to get there, if that makes any sense. Like that 250 field is deep, but it's not super stacked. Like not
to what it was.
No, I think what we're seeing right now is like probably what we'll see all summer. Two Lawrence boys up front, throwing a Mosman, and then Justin Cooper. Now we've lost J-Mart. I think that's what you're going to see. So for Faulkner to get in the back of that mix, he's kind of going through like Swole and guys like that are just starting to find their feet. I think his path to getting to where we expect him to be is a lot easier than Eli coming through those friggin' 8 or 9 riders that are just absolute freaks at the moment on dirt bikes, and they're young too, where he's,
Monster Energy Star Yamaha. Are they getting nervous? Like, obviously they've spent a lot of money to get Eli, and they're watching this performance. Do you think they're like, shit, what have we done? Or are they like, it's just a part of the feel?
We'll fix it.
I think their other 72 riders will probably do the job anyway.
How many?
72.
Did they lose some?
Something like that, yeah.
You said it every time. The one thing that I look at right now is if you're a star, like, you've got like probably 3 of the top riders as well at the moment in motocross. Like you are 1 and 3, 2 and 3 in points now with AP
Ferrandis.
Ferrandis are like 2 and 3 overall in points. And then, Christian Craig is killing it at the moment as well. So, like, you've got 3 talented riders, and you're going to get rid of at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well, Craig's going back down to 250 and then 450 outdoors from what we've heard.
Yeah.
So, they've still got him, but you're going to lose AP, which sounds like that's happening as well.
Yeah.
So, is Eli going to be AP level, or is, that's the question now, is like, are they like a sideways movement, or are they going to go down by putting Eli in? With the results right now, it looks like it's a backwards step, if we're being honest.
If Eli gets on this star Yamaha next year and starts killing it, man, that's not good for Kawasaki, and there's going to be a lot of questions asked.
Yeah, for sure.
If he gets a start, I will probably freaking cry. But anyway,
I don't think he'll just destroy it.
Gel with it. Yeah,
I think he'll definitely be solid. He'll be better than he is right now.
Yeah,
I'd say for sure on the Yemi. Just like
change as good as anything.
I'm not sure. Is it? I heard 2-year contract, so like it's not.
It's changed.
So what the 2-year contract? So what that was for was the deal with Monster Energy. So Monster Energy themselves are picking up Eli Tomac. So I believe that's what very much helped Eli get out of his contract with Kawasaki. Was I think Monster did a lot of that sort of stuff, but I don't know if it's Star Yamaha's 1 or 2 deals, but it's definitely 2 years with Monster Energy.
Yeah, I've heard it fluctuate between 1 and 2. Like some media outlets are saying 1 and some are saying 2. So it's like, until he comes out and announces it, it's all obviously speculation. But yeah, the one thing I think we've heard in concrete is the Monster Energy, itself is a 2-year deal. So it'd be interesting to see if he does do 2 years and what happens with that Yamaha transition. And someone I want to reach out to, Nick, is that suspension guy they've all been talking about, which is Ricky Gilmore. He grew up racing the Sunshine State Series.
Hey, we can do that. Right. We can do that. We can reach out.
You're probably just a little young, I feel like. I was even young. Like somebody was talking to me about it on the weekend, and I was like, I remember him, but it's like I was even probably 12, I reckon, when he was racing. And he was like, I think he was like clubbing rider or intermediate rider, and was like making his way through, and then now he's like in the US as like the top suspension tech for Yamaha. I'm like,
I think, and apparently that person there was a large decision in Eli moving to the team. He was he had a lot to do with Eli's success at Geico Honda early on. So this might be a missing piece of the puzzle.
Australian guy,
but
obviously, like I don't know Eli Tomac, but he doesn't seem like the sort of dude who's just going to go racing to go racing. So I think he's going to be legit on the Yamaha. Yeah. It didn't matter what you put him on, the guy's going to work his ass off.
He's going
to come.
And I don't think John I don't think his dad would let him do that. He's just too driven by what it is. But obviously, going back to racing over there, Pennsylvania, I believe it is, coming up on next Sunday morning. Who's winning 450 class? Who's winning 250 class?
AC goes 1-1.
Ooh, that's hot.
I could jump on that.
Oh, you get on that bandwagon?
Oh, I jumped straight on that.
I like it.
And 250s, I don't know. I think Jet. He just looks too good. Yeah.
It's at High Point. It's going to be
Jet Cooper. That's
Hunter.
I'm swinging for Hunter because I'm a big Hunter fan.
Dean can go over on a CDR Yamaha dude and run second in the first moto.
I'd love to talk about that whole thing with Dean.
Yeah, that was pretty epic. That was a sick moto. But
that was good. Yeah.
Hunter, I think Hunter going into this more East Coast style track, I think you're going to see Hunter sort of come alive.
And AC?
Oh, all that every day of the week, mate. I'm back him till the day.
One last question I have for it. And so Kenny has come out swinging, looks absolutely incredible, very, very smooth. Just completely nothing what I thought it was going to be. How do you think Kenny will go when we do get over to the East Coast? We get this humidity, we get these abnormal hot days, and now we're going on a run, which means we're week. There's not going to be another break. If he's going to do it, this is probably going to be the next 3 or 4 rounds are going to be very, very important for him. Do you see it being an issue?
I don't see it being an issue, but I would not at all be surprised if he did it either.
How bad?
It's hard. It's like a boring answer, but
but that's the way it has to be answered. Yeah,
he just looks too good to think that. Nah, he's not going to do it because he looks like he's doing it easy almost.
Yeah.
Like,
what about you?
Coming out of the motos and like looking dead. Like he looks sweet, and They were saying it was hot last round.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot at Colorado, and it's at altitude. That was going to test him if anything was going to test him.
But like that track, I don't think is as testing as what he's going to have coming up ahead in front of him.
It wasn't tough. I mean,
and apparently it's the humidity that Kenny doesn't deal with.
Yeah,
whereas Colorado is not going to get very humid. It's more of a dry heat.
Yeah, I mean, it's that whole thing with Kenny. It's like week in, week out. Like, you know, what are we going to see? As you said, Joel, like you could not be surprised if it all falls apart here, or you could not be surprised if he goes out and goes 1-1 again. Like I don't think either option at the moment with Ken Roczen you can be surprised about. You just like, oh yep, another thing, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But the biggest thing that I have is as you know, I'm a facts and figures guy. We got no facts to go on with his outdoor because he missed last year, you know, and then the year before that.
I just have to take out what I see at Supercross.
Yeah. So you're going off Supercross, which is a different beast. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, Kenny is freaking fire. Like,
if there's one thing we can take out, Frenchie can drive.
Oh, yeah. Ferrandis is on it at the moment.
Dude.
I'd say he's title favourite.
Yeah.
I'd go Ferrandis title favourite because, like Roczen, like I said, it's up in the air. No one knows what he's going to do. And it just seems like Ferrandis doesn't matter what the conditions are, if he feels sketchy, if the bike's like, I don't know, the tyres off it, like he's going to give it 100%.
Yeah.
And he just, seems to just have so much heart and so much drive that he's going to be there, and his speed's not an issue.
I think he's starting to get a bit of a following now too, whereas I think people are starting to forget about where he tried to kill Jagger's dad at Anaheim too. So that might be getting put to rest because he's starting to get a bit of a fan base, old Frenchie.
But I mean, the one thing too, Joel, like if we had this conversation after round one, he got 2 good starts at round 1 and comes away with it. And then the first race of round 2, he gets a good start again. And you're like, well, what's he going to do with a bad start? You got a bad start in moto number 2 and still tore through the pack. So that's scary, I think, for the rest of the field.
I think that motorcycle's not going to get a bad start, though.
I think he could get it to have a bad start. He seems to seems to be good at that.
250.
He did it on the 250.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It's just...
I think
it just looks different.
Yeah. And the... like it going back to like you said, coming in on Christian, cleaned him out. It's like he didn't want to clean him out.
No.
He's just goes that hard. So I think it doesn't matter if he gets a bad start. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to clean out 50 guys to get to the front and not care.
Yeah.
So he just wants to win. And like, I don't think, obviously he doesn't want everyone hating him, but if he needed everyone to hate him for him to win, I don't think he'd give a shit.
Yeah.
I think he'd do it anyway.
For $1 million, you wouldn't care at all, would you?
But like, that was an interesting story coming out of that, of how close he came to leaving America.
Oh, but they were getting pretty extreme with the booing. And
dude, it was horrendous.
Yeah, it was pretty. Like, I mean, it
was Jagger's dad though.
Yeah,
in Anaheim where they live.
Yeah,
didn't pick a good spot.
Did pick a great spot. as you also a Christian Craig guy as well.
Big,
as you know. Hey, the other thing I want to touch on quickly before we let you go, Joel, we've drug on this last bit. As I said, we can bench race. You want to sit bench? Pro MX. Obviously, you're a big part of it. Racing against these guys, but I mean, the racing up front's been pretty epic. You obviously want to be in that mix. But who do you like at the moment in those 2 main classes, MX2 and MX1 at the moment? It looks like Clout's getting a bit of a roll on here at the moment too.
Yeah, Clouty is, and I think he's improving more and more. I heard just the other day he's got a coach now, like fairly recently, and like that's been big for him. And like he's just working with someone, because obviously it doesn't matter what level you are. Like we're speaking about AC, and like those guys all have coaches and just people to help them out.
Yeah.
So I think Clouty, I'd put my money on Clouty.
Yeah.
He's fit. He wants it. He's super driven.
Yeah.
And then Webster just looks too damn good. I think he's pulled, I don't know, 3 of the 4 hole shots or whatever it is. And then he just looks solid the whole time. I know like how fit the guy is.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. So I think as long as nothing crazy happens, I think Webster's got it in the bag. Yeah.
Plant power, that's for sure. Plant-based guy. I think the scariest thing for this Pro MX coming up is the fact that Clout went 1 Manji in the sand against Regan Duffy.
Yeah.
Because that's Duffy's, that's his playground right now, and Clout went over and won, and it's...
I do think, didn't Clouty have Duffy have some issues though?
Yeah, but again,
I didn't read into that. What was it?
I didn't either.
Nah. Yeah. But you know what confidence is like.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if you go over there, you're not going to think about, I beat him. All right, I
Yeah,
beat him.
yeah.
And if Cloudy's got that in his head, we know how much when Luke Cloud gets on a roll. Like even when we watched Supercross a few years ago and he was starting to get with Brayton, and then all of a sudden he just takes this massive leap forward.
Yeah.
And he's like matching Brayton where nobody could touch him in Supercross. And then next minute, Cloudy's right there because he just got that one bit of confidence he needed and just ran with it. It'd be the same over there. Yeah, he would be he'd be like, I beat him at Manjimup over in WA. Watch out.
And I think it's going to keep rolling because Maitland's a pretty slippery, sketchy track. Like it's not the most enjoyable place to ride.
Yeah.
And Cloudy was cool enough. He's another one of the guys who let me come and ride with him while I was down New South Wales.
Yeah.
And we rode the sketchiest track. And like it was cool, but it was like edgy and there was rocks and it was slick and you had to be super. And he was so fast.
Well, that would complement the first 2 rounds pretty well, though, wouldn't it? Riding a track like that.
Well, the first one, the second one.
Second one, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Canberra
So
was pretty rugged.
I feel like Maitland, he's going to be hard to beat there.
You go Maitland, and then obviously they're rescheduling Gilman. So
yeah, I think like going back to 250s, Jay having this extra time in New Zealand, like the year that he won the championship, 2015, spent the year in New Zealand, and it's like I feel like he's going to be coming back looking strong.
We picked that when I seen the Instagram story, and he didn't even announce it. Like he just put it up, and I, remember what Coppen's place looked like, and he didn't say nothing. I was like, he's gone to New Zealand, and we spoke about it, and then he announced he was gone and working in New Zealand. I was like, Jay Wilson will be a different animal.
Yeah,
when
he'll come back
comes
swinging.
Because as you're right, when he won the title, he was based out of New Zealand, and Josh Coppens is like I said, is just the guy that knows how to get Jay Wilson to do what he needs to do, and he'll come back. And his break, as you said, has been probably the best thing for him.
Yeah. Pretty exciting. Looking forward to the MX2 class as well because the local fella Noah
Ferguson.
Yeah, man, he's like the talent that kid has is awesome. I was we were all watching that last moto at Toowoomba, standing up on the hill, and just some of the times he'd like hit a corner and like you just everyone looks at each other like, do you see that?
Yeah.
That second turn at Toowoomba before you go up the hill there.
Yeah.
Big straight line rut, had a little bit of a curve in it, so everyone was balancing.
Yeah.
He'd just start leaning over, lift his inside leg up,
Standing.
basically on his seat, standing, and then sit into the turn.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Like, just so that his foot wasn't going to get ripped off because it was cool.
Dude, he's a talent. I mean, I've watched him from a kid. I was lucky enough to work with him really early on, and I seen him do things on a KX85 that I'm like, that you nah. I couldn't even. I'm like, how do you? He was coming. I remember, at Roma we had the S bend coming onto the start straight, and that rut gets like,
dude, what corner? I've ridden there and under like the rut was as deep as me.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know how like I get those super.
Yeah.
He just stood through the deep part of the rut on an 85. I'm like, how the foot peg's not straight? And he just stood up like brah brah brah, and he's through it. I'm like, I go out there and try to do it myself, and I'm like, legs flapping, like he is. And he said, you look at it and you just go, how can this kid do this? And it's good to see him finally now starting to break out and show. And he's starting to train with Ross Beaton and that Beaton formula. And we've been speaking about that. There's going to be some pretty cool stuff that now they're starting to go together with Ford, what Ford's doing with Gibbsy and that.
Yeah.
And now Cloudy's got himself a riding coach. Like, all these guys are slowly starting now to get these riding coaches. It's just going to bring this level right up. So you go with them, Joel, and get to the top with them.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Nice.
Big 81 up front.
Oh yeah.
A good start. A good start like Canberra. That's all you need. A couple of them.
Yeah. I've been pulling them lately. So this new JPM engine, she's gonna get
She
this
got all the
65
biggies?
kilos up there.
Yeah. No, for sure. Want to give you the opportunity before we wrap this up. Thank obviously the people that are helping you out. Give them a bit of a shout out, a bit of a plug, and who's been helping you out this year so far.
Yep. So as you alluded to, Maxis.
Yeah.
Maxis.
Sorry, what was that?
Maxis.
Maxis.
Now those guys have been really cool to me. MotorX. Motorcycles Are Us, like a local bike shop. They've been really cool, and I've been trying to promote just like, obviously MX Store's the big killer, but if you're local, just go hit up your bike shop. You can go talk to someone. Support local, support the guys who support the sport. Those guys help me out a fair bit, so that'd be cool. Unit, another big one for me. Like when I decided to do the whole Privatito Pro thing and do the YouTube, like Unit was the first people to jump on and thought the idea was cool. And we're actually doing a 2022 video shoot soon, and some of the gear looks super cool. So look out for that. Johnny, I got to give Johnny, my buddy Johnny, a massive shout out. He's helped me out heaps. Dave's Smash Repair is his little business, and he actually just bought a bike for himself and was like, "Here you go, here's your race bike."
Shit.
So like that's pretty cool because he's traveled everywhere with me and sees obviously what you're up against, and he's like, "Man, you can have a second bike now." He's like, he bought it for himself, but basically he bought it for me. So
yeah, that's cool.
like that's a super cool thing of him to do. And then my Pitboard, Backyard Designs, athletic base, Emil there. Like if you're looking for any sort of training program, like to do with motocross, like I said, he's super individualized. He's got an app where you can just go through the app and do your stuff, because obviously I'm on the road. That's what I do now. I've just got a gym membership for wherever I go, and I can just do everything. He can reply to you on the app and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And I'm sure I've forgot plenty of people. I've got koala hat on and whatever, and those guys are cool. But just anyone who helps me out, just massive thank you. All the people that watch the YouTube. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out.
It's cool.
I've got to give Michaela a massive thank you. Being on the road with me and chasing this dream, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you giving us the time here. As I said, you got a hectic schedule going on, and we reached out and said, man, we want to get you sit in here and talk to you. And as I said, we'll probably have to get you back again one day and just bench race with you. Go deep on it. But no, we appreciate the time for coming in tonight and having a chat and going deep on some stuff for us. We've enjoyed it. So I mean, as long as we enjoy it, that's all we care about.
Right, good on you, mate.
Nah, you guys are supporting the sport, and I dig that. Like that's what I'm about as well. So it's cool to see what you are doing. Honestly, like you come up with this podcast thing. I did the YouTube thing. It's like we're doing sort of similar things in a way of like just jumping in the deep end and having a crack. So it's it's cool to see what you guys are doing as well. I'm pumped on it.
I really commend you for what you guys are doing, because it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
And like I say it as well, as like I try and watch as much of the industry stuff in the sport, but I'm just like Trent, I love seeing this background stuff, the aspects of the more the back end life of being a professional racer without having the sport behind you, and you guys show it so well in your everyday life. It's like every time I see it come up, man, I'm clicking on it. I love it. So keep on to that. That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Nah, cool. All right, well, let's start wrapping up this one. You've got about two and a half minutes until we finish this up. If you haven't shared the live stream and you're still listening, get on that now. Put shared in the comment section. Go on the draw to win the $1,000 iPhone Oils giveaway. And if you haven't gone on and registered for the Privateer Takeover, the Queensland title giveaway, entry to both rounds, front row pit site for both rounds, a set of Pirelli tyres for both rounds, an oil change kit for both rounds, and a chain clean and oil kit as well for both rounds to the lucky recipient.
Factory privateer, Trent. That's for a day.
Pretty much. So as long as you're doing all both rounds, Mackay and Coolum of the Queensland titles, you can go in the draw for that. In the championship class, all bike sizes are welcome. Hit us up, MotoLimitShow.com, go to the competition section and enter that.
Buy yourself some merch while you're there, Trent.
Get some merch, especially when the marketing chick gets the new stuff up. It looks pretty awesome, especially for us early 90s babies that like the 80s stuff we weren't born in yet. We got a pretty cool design coming out on that, and some other stuff as well. She's been working pretty hard at that. Congratulations to Nathan Bernard winning the set of Pirelli tyres. Thanks to the guys at Pirelli. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Ruse Systems, need that diesel tune, go check them out. Stu Race Solutions, as I said, Stu's always been a big part of what we're doing. We appreciate him. Backyard Design, get a graphics kit, 15% off, Moto Limited at checkout. National Luna Fridges and KDR Apparel. Adam is the man. We appreciate everything he does. I think we're going to have to get them guys back in again soon as well. Pirelli tyres. Queensland Bike and Forward Drive, the local dealership, as you said. Go and support the local dealers out there. You're looking for a KTM, a Gas, a Polaris, and a Kawasaki. Go and check out the guys there at Toowoomba. They deliver anywhere and can help you ship anything to anywhere as well if you're not in Toowoomba. MP Suspension, any suspension needs, been using them for years. I love Paul and all of his work up there. And again, you go back to those old days, the old gold forks and that. They were, you wanted an MP sticker on your fork when you were a kid, and now we're lucky enough to have them. And then iPhone Oils, the official oil of the MXGP, Nick. That started on the weekend. And is back. MXGP is back. We didn't go too deep into MXGP talk tonight, but we don't want to add another series to our list.
That's it. It looked good, though. So it's cool to have it back.
Guys are 1-1. That's all we can say. I wouldn't have picked that.
Hurlings was like 30-something seconds behind. I was like, What is going on?
Yeah, we're not going deep. We don't get too deep.
You could start me because I don't even want to talk about Corolla.
Yeah. Official oil, iPhone oils of the MXGP. So this has been show 44 of the Moto Limited show. We'll be back next week with show 45, Nick.
Something very, very cool happening on the weekend for us, Trent. I don't know if we're going to release that as a Moto Limited show or if it's going to come out as an archive.
No, it will. It will come out on the main channel, but it'll just be a podcast. There will be a video content to it as well, but we will be having Paige and Christian Craig together. We're going to do a podcast with them live, well, not live, but from the US. We'll be zooming them in and having a conversation and breaking down Christian's career. And then obviously the family dynamic, and they got a vlog going as well, like everyone does. So breaking down how that works.
Bit of one-on-one with Paige.
Yeah, Nick just wants to talk to Paige for 2.5 hours.
She a big fan.
She gave you an intro, dude.
She gave me an intro. Slid into the DM. Say good day.
We'll have them. So that'll come out next week as well. We've got show 45 coming the week after. We've got another set of tires to give away. Another chance to win that. And probably plenty more with another cool guest coming in as well. Nick, I'm pretty sure you just got to finalize that.
Yep, absolutely. Look in social media this week and we will announce it. So.
Yep. Again, this will be available on Archive, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. If you are an Archive listener, which we appreciate you guys, we're going to get some Archive giveaways coming soon. And you can rewatch this on YouTube now. We've managed to figure out how to upload it to YouTube in a way where we don't get it taken down from YouTube. So we've got that going up and plenty of stuff coming through YouTube as well. So check that out. Moto Limited Show on YouTube. I want to thank Jess for, again, cooking us some dinner tonight.
Chicken tikka masala.
She's always does a great job, and I appreciate everything she does. My kids, again, for everything they do. Nick, thank you.
Thank you.
Again. Joel, thank you. Wiz,
Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Are you dying over there?
I'm trying to die quietly, but at times I couldn't help it. But if for any reason anyone heard any of that, I'm sorry, but I tried my hardest.
Lucky Microsoft, mate. The cameras look great tonight, so thank you for pressing the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s.
Yeah, mostly 1s and 3s tonight. But,
because I wasn't important enough to have a 2. The 2 was my camera, and no one wants to see.
Hey,
me,
we needed this on Joel.
Yeah, the main attraction. So thank you, mate, for coming in again.
Yep,
Thank you for coming in while you're sick.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
Yep. Keep yourself distant over there as well.
1.2, thanks.
Appreciate it.
1.2 or 1.5? Which one do you want to go for?
7.2.
Cover 3 meter, isn't it, right?
Thanks, buddy. So that's going to wrap up show 44 of the Moto Limited Show from Nick and myself. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.
I said, I'm a fan of the show. What you guys got going on is awesome. And whoever's listening out there, you better keep freaking watching these guys because they're doing some cool stuff, man. So